welcome to session 3. It's Mists of Mistral time once again. Welcome everybody. I am here with KZ Fru, Simcopter1, Animatedbreak, and Danotage as well. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome.
So fired up.
Yeah,
Excellent.
very, very well.
Yeet.
Excellent. We left off at a really high intensity time last time, so I've been... I put this quest together probably about a month ago when we had our first session, so I've been so excited to see what the ending is going to be. So I'm looking forward to this. Hope you guys are as well as players. Hope you guys watching are as well. Welcome! If you haven't seen what we've been up to, the 4 players have just come up to a treehouse belonging to a polymorphed wizard by the name of Shinebright. He is currently a horse, and has enlisted the 4 characters, the 4 players here, to come and help him get that back from the evil apprentice, or I shouldn't say evil, the morally gray apprentice, Noak. The players have come into the treehouse, subdued the attack wolves and dogs outside that the players deduced were in fact human guards that had themselves been polymorphed. They were able to negotiate their way past, much to my amazement. It was really great. And got in, confronted Noak, and in the span of what was literally, I want to set a timing idea for you guys. Each round of combat lasts about 6 seconds. The combat that you had with Noak was 3 rounds. So it was from the moment negotiations broke down to where you are right now, Sharvanda. You just released that arrow that hit Noak in the back of the head, killing him instantly. He's fallen forward. That wand that he was holding and pointing at the bed, falling to the ground and clattering away. 18 seconds has passed since the end of the negotiation, and you're finding yourself just right now in sort of the aftermath as his body hits the ground, and you look over and the bear is dead as well. To have your first moment to just sort of catch your breath and discuss what you've just seen. Sharvanda, as I mentioned, put that arrow right through Noak. Felix revealing some of his warlock abilities for the first time, blasting Noak in the back with a shot of force energy. Anam taking a very serious slash from the bear, or was it a bite? Now I can't remember.
That's pretty sure.
What way was I injured this time?
It was a bear-shaped wound, for sure.
It was like a scratch across the chest, like really deep one too.
Anam, a great tank.
Great.
Tanking monk. And Deli having tackled a bear, tackled a enlarged bear, and run a sword through the back of its neck as well. So all the players in the afterglow of combat right now, feel free to take it away.
That was an excellent time. I like tackling bears.
Why do I always have to be the one that gets hurt?
You suffer so that we can have pleasure? I don't know.
Because it's always the quiet one.
It's always the quiet one. That's why Felix is so chatty.
Yeah.
You know what it is you roll the highest initiative, so you have the first chance to annoy them and make them want to hit you back. Speed works against you.
It always works against you. Like, I think this is their second time. Even in the example run, you get like attacked by two of the people like closest to you.
It's true.
It's just repeating itself.
I should just run in the opposite direction next time.
That's right. Do a roll.
So
Do a
also
bear
to give
roll.
you a little bit of the geography of where you are right now as well, Deli, you're still in that doorway right over that bear that you killed. And right behind you, or I suppose in front of you, depending on the way you're facing, are all of the other players who are in that adjoining room, sort of looking up at this rampway that leads up to the bedroom at which Noak was pointing the wand. So you can't really see what he was pointing at. You can't really see what's going on. You're still all sort of in the adjoining room, haven't gone into his bedroom yet.
We didn't. Did we hear Senor Phoenix do his little voice? His
Oh, yeah.
guttural I'll see you guys next time.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Because
See you next week.
something threatening, I don't know. Something weird. Something big and rude.
Felix, that was audible to everyone when your demon spoke through you?
I think it was. I think it was quite a. It was like an aircraft engine going through the room with a demonic, horrible presence. Yeah, it was. You can't miss it.
All right, so this poop in my pants is actually real. All right, got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you
That's-
you saw that black bolt of energy come out of his face, I believe you said, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah, it was
bolt
like a
of
bad
black
cold.
energy.
I feel like we now have to perform an exorcism.
So are we as players kind of picking it up now and kind of just proceeding through the rest of the scene? Is that right?
You are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So-
in that sort of immediate aftermath, like that final click of the arrow just left Sharvanda's bow, and Noak has found himself now dead.
Yeah. So after the clearly demonic presence that happened to Felix and the mocking sound of what sounded like a demon speaking to everybody. Yeah, with the words something like we shall meet again, as he kind of showed that it wasn't just Felix here. It wasn't just Felix. Felix released a dark energy. It penetrated through Noak's body as Felix kind of hunted him down, storming through the room, pushing through the door, just kind of like unstoppable force approaching Noak as he just pushed the bolt out of his face and through Noak's body. After the combat was done, Felix is relieved, but he looks exhausted. He appears pallor, his eyes are sunken. Noticing the destruction around him, he feels remorse, although he's not really ready to accept the consequences of the destruction that Felix is associated with. I didn't think this would happen. I was simply frightened and needed to defend myself. I just let go. And he's fallen unconscious now, next to Noak's body.
All right.
He's fallen
Next to
unconscious
Noak's body,
after.
you said?
Yeah, right next to Noak's body.
So you've
as he's
sort of
kind
run up into the room that he was in and collapsed next to him?
Yeah, he's kind of inspecting the scene, seeing what happened, realizing, he might have had something to do with this, coming to terms that denial, accepts, and passes out. He's unconscious.
Huh. Oh boy. Well, I didn't even get a chance to tell him good job. I was actually quite impressed by his initiative. I kind of dust my chest off, very proud of my my shot. I kind of walk on over, and am I able to pick him up, kind of over the shoulder?
The body?
Not Noak.
Oh.
Our
Oh,
friend
Felix.
Felix.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just pick him up and kind of hoist him, dead animal game across my my back, and I want to inspect the wand. Like, I want to be able to pick it up.
Okay.
Can I pick it up without it blowing up, or?
Yeah, so you sort of like reach out a little bit tentatively, not sure if it's gonna like shock you or anything, but as you tap your fingers to it, it seems to be okay. It doesn't seem to be hot. It doesn't seem to spark or anything, and you eventually wrap your hands around it and you can pick it up.
Okay, so I pick it up and I kind of slip it in my backpack or my pack that I have on me.
Okay. And
Um,
so are the rest of you also coming into this room, or at least looking into this room as well? I'm wondering, are you trying to do this secretly, or are you trying to like pocket it so that no one
I'm
else
literally
sees?
just putting it in, and if people don't see it, I'm fine with that. But
Okay.
I would say I'm more paying attention to like getting up and cleaning off my blade real quick, so it's not like I'm not totally focused on that. I am focused on the fact that there's may or may not be a demon present. I'm assuming that I would feel that.
Yeah, so did you guys need like a recap of the situation that kind of occurred to Phoenix, just like the line that happened and stuff like that? Or
That would be fine. Yeah, absolutely.
so after that kind of battle before you guys, or before we all kind of chased after Noke and whatnot, as things kind of unfolding. Felix dropped to one knee. He was staring at the ground, and he looked up at the adventurers. His eyes were completely dilated to the point of occupying his entire. His pupils were now dilated to the point where occupying his entire eyes, and he said, "Hello, everyone. It is so nice to meet you. It is me, Felix. Oh, you don't believe me? We've got some smart ones here. Anywho, I hate to say hello and leave, but we shall meet again soon." And that's where, then Felix kind of stands at attention and kind of went on his rampage of, unstoppable Terminator killing machine possession.
Okay.
The
So
base match.
paladins sort of just innately have the power to just detect evil. So you would have detected that sudden sort of evil presence in or around Felix that was there, and then now he is collapsed unconscious, and you don't feel it anymore.
Okay. Alright, I keep quiet for now.
Quiet with pooping pants. Relatable.
Nothing.
So you're over just cleaning your blade then. Felix unconscious. Anam, how are you? I mean, you're bleeding, but...
Yeah, I was gonna ask, am I still bleeding?
You're actually not actively bleeding in a way that's like, oh, I'm gonna bleed to death if I don't deal with this. You know, you're wounded, but you're fine to move around, to walk around.
Right. Okay. It's not. It's
he's
not
on the
too
same room.
debilitating. It's
Yeah, you're not disabled in any way. You feel pain, but you've felt pain before.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Where would I be right now? I'm not sure if I'd be in the bedroom.
I think you're in the same room as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
I believe
it.
right at the very end you moved into the bedroom, but
Okay.
stayed back. You were hiding. You were hiding behind a table or something, I believe.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll come out from behind the table, cautiously, because demon and everything. Maybe take a look around, see if there's anything of interest.
In the room that you're in, I just dropped everything. That'll be fun. In the room that you're in, there's a sort of alchemy table off to the side with sort of equipment on it and rolled up pieces of paper. There's another table that sort of has a bound leather book on it, and the table that you're hiding behind, which sort of looks like a little dressing table.
Can I examine the book?
Sure, yeah. So you go over to the book and open it up, and you see that it's sort of like a ledger. It keeps track of the magical supplies that have gone in and out. You see most of the things have been crossed out, and this sort of matches up with what you've seen of the place so far. It kind of looks like it's been stripped bare a little bit. So it looks like it's not gotten resupplied in quite a while, that Noke has been burning through things. You also see a list of names. You see a list of several names, and next to some of them, it's, bear, wolf, mastiff, wolf. You also see a few that are just X's, and those names are crossed out. There's 3 of those names.
Okay. Interesting. Is Shine Bright on that list?
Shine Bright is not on the list, no.
Huh. Speaking of,
Suddenly, the light bulb goes off in your head, and you're like, yes, the horse!
guys, we need to find the horse.
Can I get him?
I know, Charvand, it's in your nature to pluck places clean, but we have a horse situation. You had a bonding moment with this horse. You rode him. I'm sure you have some kind of sentimental feelings, right?
Well, yeah, but we also have another interesting predicament as I slowly brandish the wand.
So
That's-
as you see it,
I mean,
it's this sort of like oaken, branch that has this a gnarled, inscribed with runes iron band around it, and it's sort of like cracked along the side, and out of the cracks sort of oozes and sparks occasionally this sort of like bluish, smoky, ethereal sort of effect that just fades away.
Am I able to inspect it to see if I've broken it?
It looks the same as it did when you saw Noak brandishing it. You're seeing it up close now, but it looked like it was sparking like that before.
And you said there's runes. Can I?
Yes.
Is it written in a language that I can read?
No. It's not language runes so much as it is like symbol runes.
Symbols. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a plastic wand. It clearly says "Made in China" on the side.
In runes.
In runes.
As in,
Toys
like,
R Us. What does this mean? Sorry.
The pop references.
Toys R Us. Is this like some weird play on words? R? Our? Spelled wrong.
Yes. So.
so you're brandishing the wand in front of me. I guess I would say, yes, that is the wand, isn't it? The one that we can change our horse friend, assuming he's not, expired.
Did
I don't think that wand would have, be able to reanimate the dead. I don't think that's how it works. I mean, we could try. I hope we don't have to try, but we could.
Hold on. Have you ever thought for a moment that I don't care who I killed? It was fun, but
no.
What if this horse is the real problem? I didn't think about that before because honestly, that no character was a bit of a jerk. But what if?
What makes you
I
think
think
this? Can I ask? May I ask you, little man? What makes you think this?
And I kind of like look over. I'm just kind of. I kind of brushed. I just let it kind of go off my back. Dragonborn. Why else? Why else would he want us to bring this magical wand? And what about that story about him washing bottles? Checks out. I mean, he could be making it up, but at the same time,
I don't think he's making it up, but that's not a reason to turn people into things and animals.
I'm not necessarily getting evil vibes from this horse character.
Oh, I'm getting evil vibes, but not from this horse character.
Yeah, no.
and remember, I have Felix on my shoulders, like he's slumped over, right? So
I feel like there's a ring. There's the ring of Mordor happening right now that he's got in his hand.
yeah, it's like whispering to me. Eat at Joe's. Look. I have an idea. Let's see how the horsey reacts to the stick.
Okay.
And if he acts a little too desperate, you know what I mean? Like a little. I don't know how you could. Maybe I could try because I can tell from tells if that horse has ulterior motives. He is a human, so I may be able to tell. You know what I mean?
I will trust your instinct, but I just want to, say, put yourself in his shoes or hooves, rather. Yeah. and think, if you've been a horse for a little too long, wouldn't you be desperate to be changed back to what you once were?
Did we? So, if I'm remembering how the room changed when we got in here, did the entrance close off?
It is open now. He opened it to call for his guards.
Got it. Oh, right, the guards.
Oh,
I
wait,
think
no.
this-
I'm sorry. He closed it off before he went into the bedroom, so it is closed now.
Oh, it is closed. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes. Because right before it closed, you looked out and noticed that the wolves were gone.
Right. So we have to figure out how to get out of here first.
Guards?
Huh.
We should probably go. He was calling for. Remember when he was calling for backup, and then the backup never came? Do we know what that is? We need to be on our guard.
I mean, those were the wolves, right?
Assumedly.
Yeah.
Weren't those two different things? I don't know.
No, he kept calling for security to come over.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where are my guards?" But they never came.
Yeah, but
Guys. Men. We have to look, but we have... Well, take anything that you... look for something and take it. Don't leave here empty-handed. We just had a very glorious kill, and we should be somewhat happy. We don't want to just have a glowing stick.
We can walk away with honor.
Yes, we need something to fence, of course.
Take the TV. There's a pawn shop down the road, okay? It's going to be fine.
You're
there
having
a
some
guitar- is
strange
there a
dreams,
guitar here,
Felix.
That's right. I'm
just
still
kind of-
unconscious.
I'm just kind of like
Get
there. Because remember, I did say you were my new drinking buddy. I was actually very impressed that you shot somebody with your face. So that's an instant best friend.
I want to
stat.
keep me around. I can do stuff.
Yep,
I can
absolutely.
get into bar fights. Yeah.
So I want to know, remember when we walked in and there was tables, was there any sort of like silverware, knives, anything that is concealable to be used?
He's an actual cat burglar.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're wooden. They're not incredibly valuable, but there is silverware and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Can I get a drink with these?
Okay, so I want to be able to pick up a knife. I want to take the knife and just slip it
So
in the
I
back
will say
pocket.
this too. You were in the bedroom, and I didn't really give you a walkthrough of what was in the bedroom. If you
What's in
wanted
the
to know
bedroom?
more of what was in the bedroom, but you can finish
Ah.
with what you're doing with utensils first.
Oh, I'm assuming can this knife be used as a shank?
Yeah,
Or is it like
I
a
mean,
butter?
you have daggers, don't you?
I have swords. I have two
Okay.
swords, and I'm trying to find I want to have like a concealable shank because I'm
It could
ready
be.
like that.
I mean, it's a sharpened piece of wood. It can cut cooked meat. If you stab someone with it, it'd probably be really likely to break. But if you
Will they
need to
die?
conceal something and pull something out and have it not be metal, sure.
Cool. So I just kind of slip that in the back of my pocket. Just you never know. And what's in the room that I'm currently in?
So the room the bedroom you're talking about, the high room where you killed Noak.
Yep.
So up in there was the bed. It's very obviously a bedroom when you're in there. There's a bed, there's a wardrobe, and there's a closed chest.
A closed chest.
A closed chest.
Is it locked?
It is it is not. No, from testing it, no, it's not locked.
Okay. I'd like to. Is it trapped? Is there any sort of weird mechanism that could possibly?
You look
Hurt
around,
me?
you don't really see anything. Just looks like your standard. It doesn't look like a treasure chest. It's just like a bedroom sort of chest.
Okay. I would like to very carefully open the chest. Just never know.
Okay. It's actually relatively empty. The only thing you see in it are sort of three sort of misshapen lumps of flesh. With little patches of hair, like a tooth,
I'd like to
and they're
join
non-moving.
my friend and peer down and be like, how much do you think that would go for?
I wonder if one of it's mastiff. I'd like to call over an expert who I think is an expert in the back of my mind. I'm wondering if
Are you a pawn shop now?
On flesh?
no. It's just I want to call the paladin over. Do you recognize where this could have come from?
Yeah, that's Joe from down the street. Wait. I mean, I will do. I guess I can investigate.
Yeah, you don't detect any sort of evil or anything coming off of it. It seems organic. It seems organic and dead.
Why?
So it's just dead chunks, essentially.
Yeah.
Can I roll an Arcana on that to see if it's touched with magic or anything?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And Sharvanda, since you're right there, is there anything that you think that you could do to help Deli with that sort of search of like trying to figure out if it's magical in nature? Do you have any sort of insight into it either?
I could. Could I hold up the wand to see if there was if there's a reaction from the wand to the pieces of flesh?
Okay, sure, absolutely. So, Deli, go ahead and make an Arcana check, and go ahead and roll that with an advantage.
Do you have my sheet handy for you?
Do I?
Yeah.
I could pull up your... Oh, actually, I don't have your Arcana.
Okay.
Though, unless you have proficiency in it, it would just be your intelligence modifier, which is 0.
Okay.
So probably just a straight d20.
I'll just do it twice. I can't find the second one.
Yeah.
5 and 17.
Okay. So you sort of, look at it a little bit. You don't really feel any sort of magical feeling coming toward it. But you do sort of get the feeling as the wand come closer, there does seem to be sort of a resonance between the two, as if there's sort of like a magical residue left over that sort of matches the wand.
Okay. So, I mean, I report my findings essentially. I'm like, I don't think there's anything here. I mean, these might be like pieces of maybe some of the people he's turned. I don't know. No, I don't know.
I kind of look at him. I'm like,
dead things. Fortunately.
I kind of look at the paladin. I'm like, this is even sick for me.
So hold
Pretty
on.
sick.
It's organic in nature. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can we determine the animal that it comes from?
It doesn't really seem like it was... Like, it doesn't look like it was cut from an animal or anything like that. It looks like it's just its own sort of misshapen, malformed, self-contained, discrete... sitting there.
And you said there's 3 balls of flesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
A little more
keeping
cutish.
it.
And the ledger had 3 crossed out names.
It did.
There's a connection, boys. There's 3 here, 3 there. Clearly, the math works out. So, going back to the ledger, I guess. Is there? Can I like read past the scratch out and see like what's written?
Yeah, it's just names. All of them
Okay,
are just normal names. Deanna Redward. I could give you all of them if you'd like.
No, that's
Okay.
fine. I think these are failed experiments.
We should. Actually,
The ones that aren't crossed out, by
that-
the way, I'll give you what they actually are. It's bear, 3 wolves, 3 mastiffs, and panther.
Bear.
Either.
Bear.
it's-
We saw a bear.
You just killed a bear.
Damn it.
It almost killed
I
you.
was thinking back to the end. I was like,
That was it.
wait.
That was the druid.
You're right. We killed the bear. All right. So
And
it
the
works
panther.
out.
And a panther, actually.
Do
Okay.
they have?
we should.
And 2 mastiffs, and you saw 2 wolves.
Okay. Yeah. So
That's all. That's all it is. It's just what they are. No other information.
No.
Okay.
so
we
yeah,
should take
these
it.
are. You first.
Let's take them. Is it big enough to carry?
Wanna take the dead
are-
flesh?
Why?
Oh,
Well,
you mean I thought you meant the
it-
ledger.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Well, we could take the ledger too. But
Wait, Well, you want to give
What a
us a
fine
praise?
idea! What a fine idea! The gods just spoke to me to take the ledger too. But
No, I'm not.
on a
No, I was asking you. You want to take the flesh?
I mean,
yes, and
there's nothing.
because what?
I'll say this: there's nothing stopping you from taking it.
Of course there is.
Are you gonna cook it? What are you gonna do with it? Why would you want to take it, Servant?
What if Shinebright knows anything about it? If we turn him back,
What you gonna do? Smell it?
I mean,
Horses
it's,
are
it's
renowned
clear
for
what
their sense of
happened
smell.
here.
you guys are so overwhelmingly unsupportive of this, so I'm not gonna do it. If you want it, you can take it. I'm going
don't want-
outside.
I don't want any dead meat.
It's not that I
I'm
don't
just-
support it. It's that I mean,
He's talking to my back now. I just kind of turned around. I pat Felix to just see if I can get some movement from him because he's obviously knocked out a little bit. So, a little pat, and I'm just kind of heading out
Are
the
you still
door.
unconscious, Felix?
I am still unconscious, but I mean, if someone wants to try to revive me, I might be back in action. Are you just like patting me like a baby's bottom or something?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be gentle.
Uh-huh.
I think you're. Like I said. So one thing I want to point out is Shervonda has this connection with Felix. He feels like because he kind of admires the gnome in a very strange way. It's kind of like, you know, when you see somebody kind of trying and you're kind of like a huge fan of that. You're like, oh, it's kind of cute almost. It's endearing, but in a very masculine way.
you appreciate someone wearing their emotions on their sleeve.
Kind of. I don't care, but I don't know. For some reason, Felix is. I just saw him shoot somebody with his face, yet he couldn't use. He was using his daggers a second ago to hide behind a tree. You know.
So Felix starts to regain consciousness as you're patting him on the back, kind of progressively harder. He's drenched in sweat. He's tired, but feeling cathartic, relief. He's very hungry. He's very thirsty. And Felix sees as he's kind of coming in back into consciousness. He sees like a black and white, like crackling image. In his mind's eye, just kind of coming into consciousness, black and white crackling image of picking the blight bloom with that viscous purple fluid on it. Think of like images of like an old film reel or something like that. It's kind of what he's seeing his vision, or like the scene in The Ring where the girl's coming out of the well for the first time. It's kind of like eerie and frightening, and trying to make sense of it. He starts to realize his mistake. And especially as he told himself when he was touching that purple substance on the blight bloom, he just wanted to feel purpose. He was kind of making a wish as he reached towards that blight bloom with the purple fluid on it. He was making a wish. He just wanted to feel purpose, have some direction, and to feel passion like he felt others did, but he didn't. He's kind of I fear I've made a pact with something or someone without realizing the consequences. I have visions of the blight bloom in the forest I told you of. Do you remember? And he kind of like is just like announcing this towards like is not really sure who he's talking to. It sounds like he's like announcing it towards like the entire room. Do you guys remember this story? Do you remember what he's talking about?
Kind of. I'm just kind of like, because you're now waking up for me, I'm kind of hoisting you off my back, and I'm going to say, well, can you stand?
I think I need to sit for a little while. I'm very hungry. I'm very thirsty.
Okay. And as I'm kind of like looking at the rest of the crew, Gus kind of like a little stunned for once. I'd be like, any idea what he's going on about, guys? Because I have not the slightest idea. I kind of remember bits and pieces, and I kind of set you down, you know, gently on the wooden floor, and I guess while you're kind of coming to, is there anything edible for him?
Yeah,
In the
you all have like 3-4 days of rations on you, so you all have food.
I'm gonna walk up to Felix and sort of like kneel down and like get his stuff together, like grab his grab his lunch, grab his get his
Aw,
water bag.
my little tuna sandwich.
Yeah, little tuna sandwich like this big.
Very small.
And I want to hand it to him, and as I'm doing that, I want to ask him who I need to know specifically. Who did you make this pact with?
I'm not entirely sure. I remember making a wish as I was reaching towards this blight bloom, and I remember when we started our adventure, I started feeling different, and now everything has changed. I'm not sure, but I fear I've made a pact. I fear the pact is sealed. I don't have any other information at this time, though, but I feel terrible. I can't believe that is what happened what I think what happened?
If you think what happened was you shot darkness out of your face, then yes. But I can't imagine that's what you thought would happen.
I mean, it all felt like a dream. I'm so sorry. Is he okay? Is he still okay?
I lean between his vision and the body, kind of trying to block it. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness. I hope I have the chance to apologize to him someday.
He's
So
resting
the
right
dead
now.
bear is also still in the middle of the room too.
I imagine Deli's isn't like just like in front of like this charred like hole in the center of his body. It's fine. It's fine.
Walk it off, filming the dead flesh in the chest.
But there is actually sort of the main room on the second floor where you are, where actually if you were inside of it, you wouldn't be able to see the bodies from. So if you all are sort of gathered in there, you could absolutely shield Felix from the bodies.
Can I make
is
like a
adorable.
roll to see if I actually believe this?
Sure. So,
I make a bluff roll.
Kind of
yeah,
proceed
absolutely.
forward
Go
to see
ahead
if this
and
is-
roll your deception, and Felix, go ahead and roll your insight, and we'll compare them.
Insight. Okay, let me check. Okay, so 4. It is 17 plus 4. So yeah, I guess
Way higher than I rolled. Yeah. Rolled
Okay.
7.
I really believe you. I'm so relieved. Like Felix is just
Oh god.
he is ecstatic that everything is fine. This
Oh,
is
no,
so great.
So you rolled way higher than me. So you called my bluff. You don't believe me.
Oh, I see. That's how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
He was delighted for a second, and then
Yeah, exactly. So is he kind of?
You can still believe it though.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. But
it's
that's
your
what
choice.
Yeah, you have control.
So Felix totally buys it, but he feels like maybe like you weren't really there to see it, like or like that you heard it through somebody else, or like kind of like an afterthought of oh yeah, yeah, like I was down to buy that any way you were gonna sell it, but like it was just enough that I really believe it. But I'm still kind of questioning your authenticity, or at least the like. I think Deli heard this through maybe like one or two people down the line, or somebody else, or
the telephone game has ruined the story.
Oh, yep. It's
oh yeah, he's fine, totally.
Oh boy.
No problem.
Okay, great. So, I guess Felix starts munching on some food, his little lunch sack or a lunch sack. Still pretty damp, still pretty wet from just sweating profusely, but he feels catharsis.
I make a grimace, and I kind of look over at the paladin, going,
What?
I'm just
What?
kind of like,
What? Huh? He can't see him. He's standing in front. He can't see him.
so, I'm trying to I'm trying to motion, like as best as I can. Like we have to leave eventually, but
Yeah.
there's a bear, so
The bear isn't between you and the exit.
Well, he's
it is not.
No, yeah.
we can't
could just
really see
usher
the
him
exit
out.
is the problem.
So you remember that the code word that you had been using to get through all of the platforms was given to you. I mean, this was just moments ago, as May Tref Cathode, and that was the same word that Noak used to close the door as well.
So I say it out loudly.
So yes. So the pillar that you remember sort of like glowing on the other side sort of glows up again, and the reeds part, and the vines come down and twist up again. It makes another path down to the second platform. And now that you can see the outside again, you notice you've been inside for about 40 minutes by this point. The wind has actually started to ease up a little bit.
Should I take a look around, just a quick run through, like, last minute, don't want to forget anything before I go on my trip. Just take a look around the room, see if there's anything I find of interest.
Okay, so, I mean, there's still, just equipment and stuff around. There's general all-purpose sort of household goods. There's some, like, alchemy equipment, like wizard's alchemy equipment. There's the sacks of flesh, if you want to bring those with you.
Is there any like what seems to be fresh food?
Oh, there's food in the cabinets and stuff. Mm-hmm.
I take it. I just open up one of the cabinets, open up my bag, and just scoop it in.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably about 3 days worth of food in there for you.
Deli, you're too kind. If you're hungry, you can have some of my food if you like. It's a moss burger with fried melon thorn. Soft, salty, and tastes like mackerel.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'm good.
Can I look around for anything that can be used as like a ranged weapon? Maybe they have darts laying around somewhere.
Like playing darts?
Let's see.
Could
So
work. I don't know.
you kind of look around. You look in sort of the alchemy table area, sort of like opening drawers. You don't really see anything that could be used as projectiles, although you do find 4 just bottles of liquid. But no
Bottles of liquid.
no throwing weapons. I mean, unless you want to pick up, a broken piece of furniture and chuck it, it would work. It wouldn't be super effective, but it would be something.
So the liquid, can I like? Is it like corked? Can I like uncork and,
Yeah.
and sniff? Give it a big whiff.
Sure. It
This is a
smells
great
kind of
idea.
fruity,
Nice one.
vaguely fruity, a little bit like strawberry.
I don't know.
Why don't you take a sip there, buddy?
How about you? You first.
I've already had my drink count today.
Right,
I
of
don't want to
course.
get any more
You
drunk.
can use my loincloth.
I gotta make a dry heave. you can keep that on your person. Thank you very much. And
Felix-
I kind of turn my nose up.
Turn your nose up at my loincloth.
So you do
You're
know
not
that
even attractive.
it is common sort of practice to sort of have just the tiniest little just droplet of a taste of mysterious liquids in order to determine what they are. That is like the proper identification protocol.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll do that.
Okay. Let me roll.
Oh no.
This is gonna be fantastic.
So So the one you test, you sort of get the flavor sort of pervades your mouth and it feels quite pleasant. It's a you notice it's a potion of minor healing.
All right, I'll
So
take that. Excellent.
when you drink these, they'll recover 7 health. So you'll want to keep track of that, because each potion you get could be different. These particular 4 that you got are 7.
Okay, so all right. Do you happen to have my current hit points? Mine say 17. I don't think that's right.
Mine says 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it would be worth drinking that now. I feel like that's something you do when you when in like time sensitive context you would use a potion, but I feel like to regain health now it would be better to rest.
It's up to you. Do you feel like you'd be the kind of person who would walk around wounded and just be fine with it and wait until you get a chance? Or would it be like, no, I want this patched up now. I don't like my
I mean,
chest all cut open.
I can live with it. Anam is a serene fellow, you know, years of meditation and all that. So I guess I can
Alright.
deal with it.
So you're
just
keeping
weakness
all
leaving
4
the body.
potions? You're just kind of putting them in your
Yeah.
bag? Okay. So do make sure, everybody, the things that you've gotten, the wooden shiv, the potions, the food, make sure you mark those too if you've picked them up.
How many
Again-
days rations do you think we had before?
You would each probably be carrying around 3 days of rations.
Okay.
Can I offer to Nom if I can pour some of my whiskey onto his wounds to try to cleanse them?
Yeah. You can offer.
Oh boy. Anam, I have an idea. Back when we used to do operations on those that were less fortunate and they just needed the help and there was nothing else we could do, sometimes we would use low quality bourbons and whiskeys that, of course, were unfiltered and not sweet at all, so they won't infect your wounds. Perhaps this could cleanse your wound if you would like me to pour some of it on it. The alcohol I have here,
As he pulls out decisively and impulsively a bottle of, half bottle of whiskey.
I always favored spiritual cleansing over the physical, but in times of duress, I figure it's a good idea. Sure.
Okay. Do we need to make a roll for this at all?
To pour the alcohol on his chest?
Or, to see if it's successful or if it's effective at all?
No. It burns.
Ow.
Oh, so only hurt for a moment.
Yeah, that'll
Glunk,
make
glunk,
you feel
glunk,
alive.
glunk, glunk.
That'll make you. Ooh, that'll wake you up. All right. Stop. There you go.
Okay.
I watched this and sort of chuckle, and then after they're done, I'm just like, do you need me to help you with that?
Who wants a mint julep?
I will take your loincloth, thank you.
I can heal you.
I believe
Why?
all of your charges of lay on hands are spent for the day.
Are they spent for the day?
From the slashing of the panther, yes.
You did it once, you know. Heal me once, shame on you. No, that's
Forget
not.
what I said. I'm good.
All right, cool. No loincloth? All right. That's
You might have another ability, I don't know. You do have medicine skill.
I do have medicine skill. I could wrap you up if you want.
Now that it's
Wrap me
been
up, Chief.
saturated in alcohol.
Ooh, I could smell the juniper berries from that.
I've never been this close to a dragon-born lady before. You smell nice.
And I'm kind of picking up on, like, is he flirting with her?
Honestly,
And I'm just
I
like-
don't. Anam does not know what flirting is.
Is there like near his alchemy table or whatever he has here? Are there other bandages I can use?
Not really, no.
Okay, I'm gonna have to tear some clothing apart.
There's clothing about.
Okay. Can I?
There's
I'd
clothing
like
in the wardrobe.
to take a couple shirts and tear them apart and kind of
All right.
put them in, make them bandages.
Okay.
I thought you were starting to strip. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm like Dragonborn. No.
Well, all you gotta do is say you smell nice, and all of it, whoops, there it
I
goes.
mean, if there was no clothing laying about, I might have had to.
You're like slightly inebriated, so you're all about it.
All right, well, I mean,
Whatever excuse, it's like, oh no, you're bleeding. Let me take my shirt off for you.
This'll help, I promise.
Chorus of angels.
So at this point, you sort of hear a.
Oh.
I don't know if you could hear that, but sort of like the clip clop of hoof prints coming up, and you see Shine Bright, and he sort of sees, his robes sort of shredded up and wrapped around this bleeding monk, just covered in alcohol puddling all over the floor. Everything just sort of in disarray, and sort of just like looks around.
all right, let's. You think we should change them back? Show them the wand, maybe?
I'm just kind of like too busy, kind of like smirking, going, sorry. And then I kind of do one of these.
So Shine Bright turns and faces you and just sort of like nods his head up and down.
And I kind of smile and go, do you want this wand, buddy? Do you want this wand? Do you want this? This is your wand, isn't it?
And he nods his head
I
up
don't
and
think
down.
he's an idiot. I think he understands. Do you want to play? Huh? Do you want it?
And I'm looking at the monk right now, and I'm just kind of like, can a rogue have his fun? Gosh, you guys. First, you don't want me to get the flesh. Fine, I'm okay with this, but let me have fun with the Shine Bright, horsey, please. And then I kind of like look at Shine Bright. My eyes are fixed on you, and I go, in your own horsey language, what do I do? Give me a.
So Shine
Help.
Bright kind of like looks at you for a second and walks into the other room. You hear him sort of clop away.
I offered him a service with his own wand, and he walks away. Fantastic.
Maybe you should follow him.
I barely know him, and I kind of.
I barely know you.
I just kind of sigh, and I kind of roll my eyes, and I'm like, whatever, fine. And I follow Shine Bright into the other room.
So you see him standing next to the alchemy table with like some scattered papers on it.
And so I look at Shine Bright, and I'm like, okay.
And as you sort of like follow his gaze, you see him looking at this sort of like rolled up piece of parchment with a red wax seal holding it shut.
Okay, so I pick it up, and
And on the wax
And
seal, it's got this sort of imprint of Shine Bright's name on it.
I call over the other guys. Hey guys, y'all want to come see this?
Well, what's the commotion about, huh?
Got ourselves a parchment paper with Shine Bright's name on it. I look over at Shine Bright. I take it you would like me to break the seal?
And he nods up and down.
Is this going to explode if I open it?
And he sort of...
If you choose to accept.
Shine Bright's so over it. So over it.
So I kind of just go, okay. I break the seal.
You break it open and roll it up, and at the top it says, just like handwritten scroll of Speak with Animals.
Okay. So I'm looking
And
at
then
it.
below
it's-
that, just sort of like jumbled up words.
So these runes, I can't read them. Am I able to read these?
You can
said
you
they're
can
jumbled up.
sound you don't understand what they are, but you can sound the words out.
Ooh, sound the words out. Okay, so I kind of turn to everyone that's kind of in the room. I kind of hold it out, and I kind of smile at half smile at Felix. I'm like, does this look familiar? Does this remind you of a certain situation? And I go, can anybody read this? Because I don't know what that says.
Spot run.
And none of you understand the language, but Felix, it does look identical, as far as you could recall, to the scroll that you read earlier the first time you saw Shine Bright.
I look down at you.
I wish I could remember what the first scroll said. Wasn't there like a password or something that...
No, it said Scroll of Speak with Animals, and then just had, like, scrawlings underneath it.
So Felix starts to sound the words out. Yes, I think I can read this.
I hand it to you.
And as you're sort of saying the words out, the words begin to just sort of like seem to move around the paper, and the ink begins to slowly scatter away from it, and you hear Shine Bright just you got the wand back. And Felix, you're the only one that hears this. The rest of you just sort of hear hoarse sounds. You got my wand back.
Is this really what you want? Is there anything else we can do for you to help you go back to your normal form?
You'll need to use the wand on me and transform me back into my elven form.
So Felix then, realizing this, and he still feels crazy. He's felt crazy for the whole day, past couple days. This craziness is starting to become normal, so he's starting to become more like, at peace with it, I suppose, is just a new normal he's entering, especially as he's gone from like denial to bargaining to kind of acceptance of this situation. Although, after talking with Deli really made him feel better, and he feels like, well, maybe he didn't really do much wrong, actually, except make a pact with the devil or something. But besides that, he starts reading it, starts reading the words, and he starts to kind of like pull the wand out with his left hand and start to motion it like the conductor of a choir. He's speaking the words. It's kind of like the accent, though, as he starts to speak them, starts to turn into tongues. So he seems to be kind of like... He might be corrupting the words a little bit, either in terms of like mispronouncing them or the accent of the tongues that he's inadvertently using is starting to become apparent.
Did you take the wand from me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
What
the road
words are you saying?
was sleeping.
What words did he say?
Yeah, you said you were saying words.
He was just trying to read the script.
On the scroll?
On the scroll.
Yeah, you already read that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you read it, and it imbued in you the ability to speak with animals, which is why you can hear Shine Bright's voice again.
Oh, okay.
So,
And I think Charvanda
then-
is still holding the wand.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, he just told
Well-
Well, then
us.
this is all just a vision of Felix's. He just can see himself trying to corrupt, or like, may not trying to, but he's trying to translate these words in his mind, trying to maybe practice animal speak, and it's like corrupting in a way. It's not true. It's like a demonic translation almost.
Yeah.
Felix, my boy. Can you hear Horsey boy?
Yes, I can. Go ahead and use the wand on him. Point it at him. And repeat after me.
Okay.
So what words need to be spoken to help Shine Bright achieve an unpolymorph state?
So it's not really a so much a verbal component to the wand use as it is sort of just like in much the same way that you might
Close your eyes and shoot.
magic out of a wand.
Close your eyes and shoot.
Yeah, you sort of will the magic out of it.
Okay.
Don't set a fire, please.
Go ahead, look towards him, point the wand, and say with all of your heart, Umal al-Thunak.
Oh no.
Okay. And now I'm getting like a slight bit of anxiety because I have no idea what he's gonna what that means. I kind of look at everyone, and I hope this works. Umal.
Okay. So the wand sort of crackles and sparks a little bit, and the sparks fall down to the ground as sort of this ooze and mist away, and this blast of sort of like almost electricity sparks out and hits Shine Bright and sort of envelops him. Go ahead, Sharvanda, and roll an Arcana check. And because Felix is helping you with some arcane information, you can go ahead and roll it with an advantage.
Okay, yay.
I don't know what your Arcana ability is. I don't think you're...
It's 1.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yay.
You'll see.
Let's see what happens.
That's
It was a 1, literally a 1.
14. So, yeah, I rolled a 14.
Plus 1, so that would be a 15, right?
So 15.
And then you get
Yeah.
advantage, so you get a second roll to see if you roll higher.
I have 13, 14.
What was the first one?
I believe it was a 15. No?
Yeah. Okay. So the light sort of envelops Shine Bright and fills the room, and you sort of have to shield away from the light a little bit, and Sharvanda, you're still holding the wand out, and as the light fades a little bit and the light around Shine Bright fades away, you see sort of like a 3 foot by 3 foot lump of fleshy matter.
No! No, dude!
And it sort of wriggles for a little moment and then just
And
sort
this
of
is
goes.
why we don't take the teleporters.
Oh my god. What did you do, man?
I just followed what the gnome said. He gnomes everything.
Well, Demon Boy should have done it then. Maybe he'd be not a ball of flesh. Maybe he'd be, I don't know, a demon with horns at least, or something. Not that. That's horrifying.
I just followed
kinda-
the instructions that were given to me.
It's kind of funny, but
Bruh.
hold on. Can we not? Can this thing? This wand? Can we not try and like? What if we try and polymorph it again? What if he turns back into a lovely horse? It's worth a shot. No pun intended.
Let me just get out of the way, you know? Sure. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It could grow teeth and then try to bite you. I mean, I don't know.
And I kind of look over to Felix. Do you have anything at all? Ideas? Focus, concentrate. Give me some words. I can try.
Maybe the gnomes should try it instead.
And I kind of look and I went, what a fantastic idea. I'm kind of embarrassed I didn't think of it first, but I kind of suck it up. You're absolutely right. And I kind of just like lower the wand down to him, and I hand it over to Felix. I'm like, Felix, make me proud. And I kind of let it go, and I back away.
Felix
Before
holds
this
the
goes on,
wand that is.
like,
Oh, sorry.
don't
go
kick
ahead.
a dead horse while it's down, and then proceed.
Felix holds the wand with his left hand and starts to kind of see the vision he felt before of speaking in tongues, and feels really unnatural. He's repelled. He drops the wand, stunned, uncomfortable with the idea of engaging in some kind of, or perhaps engaging in some kind of ritual. Perhaps he's already accidentally done that. But he doesn't say it out loud to the others. He kind of just feels that if he uses the wand again, it's going to make things worse. And after all, he's just a forester.
I feel it is best, since I'm just a forester, after all, an outlander, truly, that I don't possess the power of this. I can simply follow instruction, but I've no skill with this. I'm not sure what I can do to help. I'm so sorry.
And he drops them.
Can I offer some words of encouragement? Are you open to hear some words of encouragement, Felix, or you're just completely closed off? You're done.
You can offer words of encouragement, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think he'll probably go through rebuttal or denial or outright refusal.
Okay.
I guess the paladin should do it. Deli, yes. Come on down.
I'm not touching.
I
that
pick
with
up the
a-
wand
with a
and I
pole.
kind of.
Nope.
All right. Anna, maybe you should. Oh, that's me. Well, I mean,
Would you rather me do it?
I think I can only see horrible things happening if you do it. I mean, I'm not the smartest. I'm not the most magical, but
I walk up to him while he's talking. I'm like this. I grab him by his hand. I flip the wand over. I smack it into the palm of his hand, and I hold it. I'm like, so help me God. Zuh. If you don't try and do something right now, we're just standing here doing nothing, and I'm getting a little, what you might call, anxious.
all
Yes.
right, all right, okay. I'll take the
Do the
wand.
thing.
Yes, yes. I have a fork. All right. Um, okay.
Beautiful.
So I guess close my eyes. Breathe in. Open my eye. Make sure the horrible flesh is still there. It is. Yep. Okay. Just go like 1, 2, 3.
And what are you trying to turn him into?
His elven form.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll Arcana.
All right. -1. Not that smart. Okay. Oh, I rolled a I rolled a natural one.
Oh no!
So good news. Good news. Natural 1 doesn't do anything special. However, 1 minus 1 is 0, which isn't a very good roll.
Yes.
So that's the end of the good news there. All right. So you kind of close your eyes, count 1, 2, 3, shoot it out, and this sort of like buildup of white energy at the front of the wand sort of statics, and you see it sort of like surge backward through the wand, sort of like oozing through the cracks that are there as the wood starts splitting more and more and more. These ruined iron bands holding the gnarled branch together starting to buckle and split as well. And it just explodes in pure sort of force, throwing you backward across the room. You take 5 points of damage. So you are now unconscious.
I am unconscious. Awesome.
You're unconscious and bleeding to death. Internally.
Did our
Did the wand explode?
The wand exploded, yeah. Yeah, there seems to be no trace of it whatsoever left. You
I
just
kinda
saw
grit
this.
my teeth.
You saw this sort of explosion in space, this blind white of light, and then you looked back, and the wand that was there just sort of is not, and Anam is across the room, just sort of down on his back.
Wow.
Felix looks away from this ordeal, facing away from the others. And you can feel kind of the room kind of darkens again. This terrible presence kind of is entering. And he says, I wasn't expecting to come back so soon, but it's me, Alf the Knock. If there's anything else you require of me, you know who to call. And the room starts to kind of lighten up just slightly, just kind of back to the way it was. You can't really see like Felix's lips moving though, because he's kind of like looking away from everybody.
Oh my god. Anam, are you okay?
No response.
Unconscious.
I kind of roll my eyes. The spirit will hold me up. Should have. I just kind of. I like rub my head, like. Well, way to go. No wand. We got not even horse meat, so we can't even eat that. So, I kind of walk on over. So I kind of walk on over to Anam because we obviously can't just leave him there. He's knocked out and apparently, I don't know if he's bleeding internally, or do I know that? Is that information open? So am I aware that he's bleeding internally?
I mean, not at first glance. If you want to inspect him, you might be able to figure that out.
I kind of want to go straight for the jugular and...
He's already dead.
He's dead?
Oh, well, no, you said go straight for the jugular. I was making a joke.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put him out of his misery. I want him to live. Who had? No, he had the potions. Can I just kind of take a potion from his bag and just kind of, like, kind of just open his mouth out and just kind of whoop?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Just pop it in.
All right.
Yep.
So you sort of prop him up a little bit so he's able to swallow, prop him up against the wall, and you noticed him. You've been around the block. You know thieves' tricks. The monk thinks he's sly, but you saw him put those potions in his bag, and you pull one out, uncork it, throw it in his mouth, and as it starts to go down his throat, he starts to slowly breathe again, and his eyes open up, and he is now returned to life. So, Anam, you've recovered 7 points of health from that. And used one of the potions, so make sure you mark that as well.
Okay. What's my current hit points?
7.
Oh. All right.
And the very first thing he sees is my stupid, smiling guffaw.
Really foggy. I just kind of not feeling too hot. I've suffered a lot of damage.
I give him a little slap in the face.
Hey, all right.
Hey.
Did I do it?
Nice, sweetheart. Look at you.
Did I do it?
Oh, you did
Where's the
something,
horse?
all right.
Did it? Where's Shine Bright? Where's?
So I'm kind of holding him like this. Well, let me tell you everything in about 3 seconds. You failed at your little magic trick. One go boom, so did horse. That's about it.
Anam, are you okay? I knew using that wand was a bad idea. I'm so sorry. Are you all right?
You know, Felix, I should have listened to you. I've never thought that before. I probably will think it again. I should have listened to you. That was a mistake. I am not a man of magic.
It's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes.
And he hugs you kind of like innocently.
Aw. I'm feeling better. All right. Coming to. Ooh.
And I kind of like throw him up, like, kind of like up and at him, buddy. Let's go. And I get up too. Come on.
And Anam, your head is a
Mr.
little bit woozy, but you actually feel better than you did before you died, because you've noticed your wounds are sort of closed up a little bit.
All right. I like the word choice.
Near died.
So, just to clarify,
Yeah.
did anything happen to the lump of flesh? It's still there?
It's still there, yeah.
Okay. It's not growing teeth. It's not worse off than it was. Okay.
No.
All right, cool. All I did was explode a wand that our rogue probably wanted to fence, but you know,
If it makes you feel better, anything lower than a 13 would have exploded the wand. So
okay.
you had a pretty
All right.
good chance of doing
All
it.
right. Nice spoiler.
I mean,
Oh,
make you feel
perfect.
better.
So
Well-
if we rolled like a 12, would I have flown backwards and started bleeding internally the way I did? Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
I kind of cringe, and I go, well, looks like we got nothing left for us here now. We just got pieces of flesh and broken dreams.
How very
I'm like,
apt.
I'm very disappointed at the fact that I kind of failed at my little magic trick because I was very confident that something good was going to happen, and then our wand is now gone, so that's a thing. Shine bright. So I kind of try to lighten the mood a little bit. Well, Shine bright ain't so bright right now, isn't he?
You know, I expected this to work out. This has gone a lot differently than I expected. I'm saying that both in character and out. I don't know why I thought it would just, he would come back, he'd hug us, we'd get our money, we'd be rich, and then we'd go do something else. I don't know, but
Hold on, guys. We've been here for a while. Guards?
I mean, I thought they liked us.
At this point, it's been about an hour that you've been in
Yeah,
here,
I don't think there are any
and
guards
no one
here,
has shown
man.
up yet.
Dave's not here, man.
Okay.
Incidentally, so the attempt at the polymorph scene went a little bit faster than I expected, and I forgot to mention this. So I need to have Felix have sort of a sudden memory of something that actually happened that I forgot to tell him happened. Where right before Charvanda attempts to use the wand for the first time, when you could still hear him speaking, he says, if anything is to happen, there's research that I've been doing that needs to go to Molaron. Please deliver my book of research to the Wizards College there in Molaron for me. He sort of says
Who remembers
solemnly,
this?
and then you see him turn into a lump of flesh.
One sec.
So apologies. You remember now that has happened.
Please deliver a book of research to Molaran.
Molaron, yeah.
So,
Which
this
you've heard
happened-
of. It's one of the 4 main cities in the region.
Okay. So
And
this
it is
happened.
known for its Mage's College there as well.
So is this is in the writing, or this is what?
No, he said this to you.
Said it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I suppose I should tell you all of this. As the horse was saying, as Shinebright was telling me how to do this ritual, says if anything were to go wrong, Please deliver his book of research to Malaran. Malaran. Yes, that's it. Does anyone see a book around here we could bring to Malaran?
I don't
And
think it would be the
you
ledger.
do up on the alchemy table near where he was standing is this sort of leather-bound book.
Here it is. I
And
guess.
it says Shinebright's Book of Research up on the cover. And you open it up, and it's written in Elvish. If anybody's ever able to read Elvish, you're able to read it. Otherwise, it's Elvish to you.
This is not something I understand. Does anyone here read Elvish?
And I kind of go. At this point, I realize that maybe I'm not the most favorite person in the group, but I just kind of smirk.
I mean, I
Howdy-ho.
just exploded a wand, so
Well, at
And-
least you went out with a bang.
haha.
And Felix can feel that there's a corruption and an air of untrust about the room that he feels like he's associated with, but can't quite like connect the two together. He's having a hard time telling the difference between what he's told and what he does, or what he thinks and how he acts. But at this point, it's all just becoming kind of a trend, and he's kind of accepted it. Like he's thinking,
Hand it over.
Oh, you speak Elvish. Oh, absolutely. Of course you can have this.
he
So
doesn't.
as-
Felix
Okay.
doesn't detect your feeling of distrust whatsoever.
I kind of take it, and I kind of open it up, and I read. Well, not read, but I kind of internalize what I'm reading. I don't say anything out loud.
So you're
What-
just kind
what
of
does it say?
thumbing through it, finding, various things about the winds on Mistral and like research into what it's coming from, or how to stop it, or how to minimize its ill effects, or things like that. It's as you flip through, just more and more about the winds and research that he's done.
This is important, and I know it because it's extremely boring.
Awesome.
And I kind of give the book back to Felix. Here you go.
Thank you. I'll be sure to take good care of this.
And he kind of caresses it, like he caresses it in a way where he kind of feels it and feels the texture, and he really enjoys it. But it's also like kind of can't stop like bonding with it. Just feels really nice. You know, this is good stuff. This is great. He really likes it a lot. He likes this book a lot.
It's very high quality.
he
The
can't
leather on it very soft, very supple. It feels like a very well-loved research book that a powerful wizard would have had.
What was in that sandwich you said, boy?
Oh, my sandwich, of course. It was a moss burger with fried melon thorn on top. I think it was a fair trade whole wheat variety. Yes, that's it. It was delicious. We should have some sometime, because I would like some more. I could talk about this a little longer if you're interested. Is there any other?
How far is the Mage College? Do we know?
It would be several days travel. Be about
Oh boy.
would be about 6 days travel from where you are.
That's a lot of effort. Do we I mean, what's the worst that happens if we don't do this? Some guys
Well-
don't get the book. Oh well.
There is a tournament that we were all going to, weren't we?
I
Is
mean,
that, or is that long?
no, I feel like
No,
that would
this is still the
be
same
going on.
day.
The same day. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
About that.
Man,
Wow. This,
It's getting
this was
to
a
be-
very efficient day. Holy moly.
It's
Just-
into evening now. But you've only been at this complex for about an hour and a half.
yeah, the juxtaposition between the story taking place over a month in real time
Yeah.
kind of throws me off. But okay, well, I don't know. I mean, could take the book, could go to the tournament. There's a couple plot lines to follow there.
And Anam, you also remember the coin with the emblem of the Order of the Finch as well.
The Order of the Finch, which I guess its leader is now a ball of flesh with a fall from grace. I mean, I don't know that, but
We kind of figured that because the Order of the Finch, or at least we saw symbols of that as we headed this way, right?
yeah,
In the forest, yeah.
it could be just one outpost of a larger.
All right, yeah.
Organization,
Yeah, as
whatever.
much as we know that at this point.
I pull from my memory. I remember something. Kind of. That the bear at the inn. Could we? What's the likelihood of us being able to go back there and it being open still, or people still being around? Is that a high likelihood or no?
It's a tavern inn sort of place, so they would be open serving customers.
I don't think
You
it's
had
that is-
not
I-
the greatest experience there, so I don't know how happy they would be to see you, but
Can we?
Yeah, I think,
Can we make it disguised?
you could try.
I don't know if that's a great idea. I was thinking, yeah, we could go back and tell that bear. Was it a bear? The bard,
Druid.
druid.
A polar bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the druid that, hey, everything went south, but I don't know if that's wise.
Well, Felix seemed to get along with somebody, with some of the patrons there, so I don't think it's not a bad idea if we sent him in.
No, I think we might as well have our faces on wanted posters. I don't think they would be too friendly to any of us.
Felix is preoccupied. He's starting to like rub his face on the book a bit.
Oh, this is such a tactile experience. I tell you, I've never quite felt anything like this. Oh, sorry, what were we talking about?
Here's a question.
Yes.
Is the tournament on the way to the Mages College?
It's not really on the way. It's sort of like 2 points on a triangle sort of thing. You're not
No.
going further away from Molaron to go to it, but you're also not going closer.
Okay. The last time I made a decision, I forced a decision. A one exploded and nothing really good happened. So I'm kind of like, I'm down for anything at this point, but maybe we should potentially, loot the place and let's go. Do we want to see more of his mage friends and potentially blame us for Shinebright's? Shinebright's still alive in my mind, and we're gonna tell him that if
Nope.
we go.
Nope.
No.
No, that's.
No?
Does that look alive to you? Would you want to be like that? Look at it.
But
Look
they
at it.
wouldn't know that.
Don't look at me. Look at it. Really look at it. Is it alive?
Y'all need to learn how to lie just a little bit. What is wrong with you? All you guys are so like, what is this? Righteous stuff. Eat a mastiff. Go rob a bank. Goodness, you guys are sickening. Shoot something with your face.
I mean,
And I'm just kind of like shaking my head. I'm like clearly a little distraught, and I just kind of want to like either get into some action or do something while we're all kind of like we're talking amongst ourselves. Do we want to go meet a wizard, or do we want to go to the tournament and kick some booty?
I think that could be a cute idea to go to the tournament, and then if we want, we still just hold on to the book, and it can't be that urgent, right? To get the book there, I mean, it's gonna take days already. What's a couple more,
No, it's not urgent at all. We shouldn't rush these things.
Yeah. See, Felix.
Dragonborn, what say you?
I want to go to the tournament. That's the whole reason I'm here.
Yeah. Anam is sick of this place. It wants to get out. Bad memories. It's been a rough day.
For a fight.
And I kind of just decide to just kind of make my way out, because I did I did open everything up. Did I? Did I not? I did, didn't I?
I think
Yeah,
you just
you looked
over
at
in
pretty
that
much
room,
everything. Yeah,
but-
it's pretty sparse. It's a living area.
Awesome. So
There's
I'm,
the alchemy
I'm making
stuff, but you don't really recognize any of it. It could be valuable, it could not be. You don't really know. There's like other furniture. There's clothing.
clothing, just regular old clothing. Could
Yeah.
I potentially make a disguise out of that? Something
I mean, there's
convincing.
wizardy robes, so if you wanted to disguise yourself as a wizard, you would have a robe that a wizard wore.
I will take both of those on the way out.
Okay.
First a shiv, now a disguise. I'm really afraid of what you're planning here.
A backstabbing wizard.
And did you say that out loud enough for me to kind of like? Would I have been able to hear that? Was that an earshot away?
I mean, sure. Yeah, okay.
And I'll be like, you can never be too prepared. And like I said, live a little. And I took just a piece of silverware, like a spoon, something like completely like useless, and I just kind of toss it in his direction. I'm like, here, take this. You can have your own personal eating device and not have to use anything else in any of the other restaurants. I kind of scoff and I keep walking.
I don't know where this thing's been. What if...
Possibly someone's mouth, I yell out. And I keep going.
What a genius.
So as you're leaving, I think now is also a good time to take a break. I will ask you this for when we return. Are you planning to head back out to the road that you came in on? Back through the forest and back to the road, or are you heading deeper into the forest? What is the direction you're planning to go, I guess?
What's the best way to get to the tournament?
I mean, evening is starting to fall, so finding a place of lodging, or if you want to camp outside, could be a good idea. You definitely couldn't get to Rosedale today. You could travel all night if you'd prefer. Traveling or night, or finding a place to lodge, or planning to camp outside would probably be one of the
This
directions you
place
gotta go.
seems cool. We can stay here if we want, right?
I mean,
Through all the blood and gore of the two corpses.
yeah, I don't really want to
corpses,
share
the four
bedding.
eldritch abominations.
There's a
fine.
bear corpse over there. There's 4 balls of flesh here. I think I'm good. I'd like a campfire and my bedroll.
There's like a pot over there. We can heat that up. Make some stew.
We could skin the bear and potentially make something like a blanket or
Disguise?
something out of it. It's the only thing that's on a fleshy mound.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to do that.
You could make pillows out of the fleshy mounds. Don't make pillows out of the fleshy mounds.
It sounds comfortable.
All right. Well, I mean, I would think. I don't know. Could we make camp along the road? Is that a good idea?
Are we
That's
able?
totally fine to do. Yeah, as you've been traveling, you've noticed that people do that. There's
Okay,
a lot of
all right.
traffic on the road, so it would be a little bit noisy, but people set up camp along the road all the time. Right
Okay,
now.
then I think we could do that. Yeah.
I'm down for that. And you
I
guys?
It's not
Agreed.
classy lodging, but it's doable.
We definitely can't go back to the inn, so or whatever that was, in tavern.
I agree. This place gives me the creeps. Let's get out of here and go camp.
Okay.
And I kind of go. I do the little fanning motion. Well, let's head on out.
All right.
Fine.
So leaving behind the treehouse and the pierced, blasted with evil damage body of one wizard and his master's fleshy, lump of flesh left behind on the floor, along with the dead bear, you depart with Shinebright's research journal and a few of his artifacts and head back out onto the road. And at this point, folks, we are going to take a short 5-minute break. We'll be right back in just a moment to play the last half of Session 3 of Mists of Mistral, where we find out what happens now when the party gets to the road. Roll for being ambushed by monsters. Yeah, is exactly what people say and is exactly what might happen. We'll have to see, though, in about 5 minutes. We'll be right back, guys. Thanks so much for being here. See you in just a moment. Folks, thank you for your patience. Welcome on back. We are returning just now. The players have just left the compound of Shinebright and Noke, leaving behind a few piles of flesh, both human-shaped and not anymore, and are heading now back to the roads. You find it sort of still bustling with traffic, although it's sort of dying down a little bit as it gets into the evening. People are sort of setting up camp along the roadside. You see a few people setting up around as you kind of emerge through the forest.
Well, what do you think about this spot?
Good. I'll
Why
sleep
do you
in it.
ask? Do you see
do
something
ask.
we don't?
I was just asking a question, Mr. Wandy Explodey.
Excuse me. I just
I said that under my breath because we are obviously in public. Shall we make camp? I know that we should probably get a fire going.
It's
Perhaps-
been a while since I've eaten.
Perhaps we should go over here about, looks about 30 yards away where there's two trees. Not too far away. We could pitch an A-frame between them. Right here, it's too open.
Uh-huh. All right.
All right.
Perfect.
I think I'm just gonna forage for some material to make a fire.
Okay.
Some stones.
I'm going to eat some of my rations.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna so I'm walking. I'm grabbing some rocks from the road, a little bit from the side where I'm kind of finding some, and I'm like, okay, this is nice smooth rocks to kind of start a nice fire. I'm getting some tinder. I pull out my dagger, or sorry, I pull out the wooden knife, and I kind of, and it's kind of like a twofold. I don't want to exactly dull it, but I'm kind of almost scraping it on an angle, so I'm getting some fluff from the tree, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm also kind of like pseudo sharpening it, if that's possible. Would you allow that?
Sure, yeah.
Great. So I'm doing that, and I kind of smirk to myself, going, like, "Oh, the rogue training is great," because now I'm also sharpening this wicked shank I got, right? And I kind of come back, and I'm going back and forth, just kind of snapping some trees, getting like larger tinder, so we can have a nice fire.
Okay.
And Felix is kind of wandering, feeling like he should put in, he should put in his, his effort here. And looking around, sees a bush.
Oh, look, it's salmonberry. Oh, this is good stuff. There's a lot of berries too.
And he decides to start pulling down the salmon berries from the bush, noticing some purple shorts behind it. Kind of strange. He doesn't think very much of it though.
Purple shorts.
He comes back with about 2 pounds of salmon berries, quite a bit, kind of just filled in his arms.
They don't say
Oh.
Lewis on the waist, do they? They don't say Lewis on the waist, do they?
He doesn't inspect them. He didn't think very much of it. He doesn't really know what you're talking about.
That's
Doesn't look like
perfect.
anything to him.
Ooh, this is 2 references in one. I like it.
Roger.
Anything. Mine has this weird. One of my tree branches has this weird gold star on it. So, I think I have a tinderbox. Let's see.
I have one if you don't.
Okay. So, does anyone have a tinderbox so we can kind of get this fire going? And then afterwards, once we get the fire going, we can probably get some. We could probably get some nice, relaxing times going.
In my head, I want to give you a hard time about it. Like make a quip as I pass it to you. Like I'm gonna get this back, right? Because you're a rogue and all that. But I'm starting to lighten up and loosen up a little. I just hand it over. No smart comment this time.
I kind of take it from you, and I kind of smile. I say thank you, and I get the fire going, and I kind of usher everyone over. I'm like, all right, guys, we got ourselves a nice fire here. If you have any of those rations you want to warm up, so it could add some happiness to your belly, you're more than welcome. Old rogue trick is you just have to hold it just in front of the fire. Don't put it in, you'll burn it, but just out a little bit, and it actually warms your belly, and it keeps you warm at night while it's cold as you're digesting. It's a fact. Learned that out in the wild.
And Felix has kind of got 2 rocks together, one long, one more round, disc shape. He's kind of mashing the salmon berry together. He's got a lot to go through, but he's kind of thinking, boil the salmon berries, maybe some of this crust, it's like the sandwiches he eats it's like a pastry crust kind of. He doesn't need to put it on for too long, but maybe put it on the top. He can make some kind of crude salmonberry soup pie. He's not much of a cook though. He usually just wings it in the woods. He doesn't really know what to cook with though. Does anyone have a pot, or is there some kind of container device we could put over the fire?
Are you asking them?
I don't know.
I guess I should. Yeah.
Does anyone have a receptacle or some kind of durable pot or something we could be cooking this with? I'd like to make a salmonberry pot pie for everybody.
Let's see.
Helmet.
It's
can
very
we-
sweet of you, Gnome. I cannot. I have nothing for you.
Can we fashion something out of the area?
I don't know of any cookware you could make out of wood. So I don't know.
Yeah, given that it's a fire and wood.
I mean, that would take some time. Dang.
No matter, it's fine. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be in a pot exactly, but perhaps we could put this discus round-shaped rock over the fire with the salmon berries on top. We could boil them together, and hopefully, with enough time, we'll have hot salmon berry pot pie. So he's kind of like hoping that the rocks will take in the heat and kind of boil the salmon berries together, and then we could all just kind of, could just kind of eat out of that.
Meanwhile, this whole time I'm sort of I'm just sitting by the fire praying, probably muttering a little out loud, for all the dead that we've killed today.
I'm in good spirits. You know, we had a very exciting day. You know, albeit that I kind of messed up the whole Shine Bright situation, but I still own up to that. It's fine. I tried my best. Nothing happened. What has happened has happened, and the one's gone, so it doesn't matter. Now I'm kind of focused on food, and kind of with my new best friends. I'm kind of, I kind of sit down and I kind of look around and I go, guys, we've just had a very intense day, and honestly, if I'm allowed to say honestly, we're probably in this for the long haul, so I'd like to hear where you guys come from, if you don't mind. I can also share as much as you want to. I don't know. This is very not like me, but at the same time, I feel this closeness with all of you guys. We've just killed a whole lot of people and animals, presumably. We should at least talk and connect. That's the thieves' way, anyway.
Yeah, have a little chit chat. Sounds good to me.
It's good to learn the the history of your crewmates before going after a big score, right? Build the trust up.
Let's start with this. Why should any of us trust you, thief?
I kind of smile and I take out my sword, one of them, and I get a rock. It's the finest one, and I just kind of start sharpening it. And I maintain eye contact. Well,
I don't flinch.
as I did not expect you to. I have come from a very long line of noble men. I chose a different path. I'm kind of adding a little bit more moxie as I'm kind of building up to what I'm trying to say. Have you ever thought how many times I was not in your view? Or the people I've killed, and I haven't turned my sword on you? And I kind of stop and I look. What makes you think that I can even trust you when I've done most? I'm most of the main killing. I killed the orc, and I killed the wizard. Did I not?
Sounds like a lot of murder to me.
And you're still alive.
For now.
I have no reason to kill you.
Says who? Says who?
Says me? Just a little confused by that quip. And I kind of just stop. I drop the rock. and I kind of rest my sword up, kind of getting cozy, kind of cozy. Like, I feel this affinity to you, Paladin. We may not get along, but we think somewhat alike, not completely alike, but we have similar goals, don't we all? We're all in this together. We all met.
I only stepped in because you guys were in trouble, and it seemed like you were in my way. You lie, you kill, and you steal. Those are the things that I am supposed to stop.
I mean, and I don't mean to interject, but I kind of like scooch over next to the paladin. I'm like, I don't think he's the biggest problem right now. And I kind of like glance to the gnome.
Oh, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm kind of like spinning my blade, and I kind of see that. I see his eyes doing one of these, and I'm just like, I kind of realize what's happening, and I just kind of continue to talk, and I'm like, listen, no matter what you guys are thinking right now, we have a bit of a overarching issue. Again, I kind of move my sword to kind of like, I'm kind of like fidgeting at this point. Guys, my men, we're together. We haven't turned our swords against each other. I haven't turned my swords against you. You can give me that. But it seems that we are in this together. Regardless, what say you in my little idea of just getting to know each other? It's all I asked.
And Felix interjects real quick. The salmon berry is starting to boil. It should be ready soon. I can't wait to add my pastry crust. And then he starts to kind of like kind of speak in tongues a little bit, but it's not like super ominous. He says something to the effect of, "Bon appetit, Chef Boyardee." And he kind of, shuffles away a little bit, kind of in his own head and not really a part of your conversation.
And I kind of go, I just kind of can't quite shake what you just said because I'm actually kind of tickled by the words. I go, Felix, I assumed you were a part of this conversation, but I guess you were very busy to your cooking. Is it ready? And I just kind of drop the whole like conversation because I too am getting hungry. There hasn't been a fresh mastiff in a very long time, so I think the last thing, at least we might enjoy some sort of company. I think at this point, being a thief and having that camaraderie is what I miss. So I'm doing whatever it takes at this point to just have that sense of togetherness at least.
Okay.
Yes, the food should be ready soon. I'm really excited for it. It's my first time trying to cook this. Hopefully it goes over somewhat well. Yes, the situation seems kind of tense over there, Charvanda. Maybe we could get to know each other. I'm from the village of Morgensteed. I hope my house is doing well. I hope my clients understand that I'm just on a vacation right now. Or an adventure, I suppose. I miss my solo adventures at home, walking through fields and just being beside myself. But this is a nice change of pace. Where are you from, Charvanda? It's nice to get to know you better.
Oh, and I kind of, because it was such a direct question and it was actually unexpected, I kind of, Gnome, I'm not from anywhere at the moment. I just have, I kind of wander place to place. and I kind of think about it for a second, and I kind of go, "No, I've been a runaway for a very long time. As I've told you before, I was born in a very royal family, and I ran away from home. And I decided to drop the life of being a happy, spoiled kid, and I traded it in for swords and a different life altogether. I couldn't do what my family did, and I didn't really feel like I belonged, so I seeked friendship elsewhere. The Guild of Thieves.
I completely understand what it's like to be an outsider. I feel the same way. That's a wonderful history. Thank you for sharing with me.
While this is
You're
going
welcome.
on, I kind of want to have I'm still huddled up next to Deli, and kind of want to glance over and be like, you know, I know you don't really trust the rogue, but I think he's an asset to us. Because if there's anybody in this group that can sense danger, it would be not only you, but also him. Because of what he's been through. And of course, what the gnome is about to go through. It's clear that he needs us, because he doesn't quite understand what's happening. And he's going to need some guidance along the way. Wouldn't you say? Good talk.
Yeah.
Oh, you warriors of the light are so tense. Come over here. Let's have some salmon berry pot pie. That should
it
lighten
ready?
the mood a little. It is ready. We're ready to go. The pastry didn't need much cooking time at all. It's still very soft and tender, and just wait for it to cool a little bit. And then he starts to kind of serve up like four servings in these kind of bowls that are like torn from like rag. They serve the purpose of like we don't have these kind of like like bowls or anything with us, but it also serves to like sift the jelly and the water content from the actual salmon berry. So it actually makes it a lot more like firm and delicious. Okay, so you have to use 2 hands of this. Make sure you wait for it to cool. One might need to hold it together while the other one eats from it because, well, it's kind of hard to eat this with one hand while holding with the other.
I seize it as a now I seize this as an opportunity to create some trust. Swords, not even like in dangerous striking distance. I pick this up from Felix, and I walk on over to the paladin, and I go, "A leap of faith, paladin. It's what you believe in."
Yeah, so it's kind of like torn cloth. It's like holding it kind of together because it's really all that we have. So yeah, one person will need to hold it while the other one eats it, or one person can hold it with one hand, one with the other, and one person could eat or something like that. But holding it is going to cause like scalding burns, and it's really going to hurt you if you try to do that. Unless you want to wait a long time, I guess you could do that too.
So are you telling this all to them, or?
Yeah, I guess I was just kind of explaining the procedure, but you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I should go into character. All right, I think I didn't I just say that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I think I actually said it in character, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, but the visual demonstration helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
It's like get on a plane and they show you how to buckle your seatbelt.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll explain that in character then.
No,
So-
you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Just, I was just asking, like,
Yeah.
you're showing them this rag and telling them how to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
or-
So
okay.
Felix is kind of like giving a demonstration, kind of showing how 2 hands could hold this together.
Or you could simply wait a while if you like, although the food won't be very hot, and you could just hold it with one hand and eat with the other.
And I
Thank
kind of
you.
look at, I lock eyes with the paladin, and I go, Dragonborn, if this is a time to learn to trust, someone like me, this is for you. And it's my pleasure. And I kind of say it, not trying to be conniving or trying to sound like weird at the same time, but I have a voice. I can't help. I'm a rogue.
What? I can't help but sound like this.
I can't sound slightly schemy almost, but I'm really trying.
Okay.
How Rhonda always comes across as kind of schemy.
Yeah.
Like I am a murderer, right?
All right. So before I do anything, I pull out of my bag a couple of the worms I kept from the tavern, and take a little bit. And I take a little bit of what you have in your hand, and I sprinkle it on top, and then I take a bite. Gotta have your protein.
Yes.
I hope you like it. And then I approach Anam. Sharavanda's right. This is absolutely an opportunity to build trust and get to know each other a little better. Do you want me to hold your food while you eat it?
Sure thing, my friend.
You got it.
This sounds so weird.
It does. At the same time, it sounds almost romantic, but it's a perfect opportunity for us to connect in this way because we have to trust each other.
Charvon had some
realizing-
monologue to build the trust, and Felix just sits over. Here you go, and I'm like, yeah, right on, man.
Yeah, we don't have any utensils whatsoever. I'm not even sure how we're like pitching this A-frame or anything. I think we're kind of all realizing that we aren't as prepared as we think we are. You're doing these kind of overnight excursions.
Yes.
Well, no, I appreciate the food. I was eating some of my own rations earlier, but a warm meal is always nice, very thoughtful.
You're welcome.
So thank you.
One can only eat so many MREs.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're sort of eating your meals into the evening, sort of shielded by the winds by the lean-to that you've created, you sort of get the wafting smell of incense sort of coming onto the air as you're all sort of sitting and talking. And people, as they're going by, are sort of catching the smell of your delicious salmon berry as well, and they're kind of glancing over their shoulder to see what it is as people set up camp around. And these two who are sort of following the smell of the incense walk up, one of them being this short dwarven man, this stout dwarven man with this very large, very luscious long hair and beard, and beside him this sort of tall, slender human man with curly hair. And they're sort of walking past, and the tall man sort of glances over, and he looks at you, Deli, and he kind of hesitates for a second and grabs his dwarven friend's arm and kind of says something to him and sort of points over, and he looks at you, and they're sort of discussing things, and they sort of begin to start to wander over, and the tall one says, excuse me, ma'am, are you a paladin by any chance?
Why, yes. Can I do something for you?
And they sort of look at each other again. The tall one, being very sort of excited now, says, "Do you happen to be a paladin of Bahamut by any chance?"
Yes.
Oh, and he gets very excited now, and the shorter one, sort of maintaining his composure a little bit, says, "I'm sorry, my friend noticed the emblem that you wear on your armor. We are priests of Akati, and you recognize the name Akati as... Actually, you all recognize the name Akati as the goddess of the elemental plane of air. So they serve the goddess of air, basically. We've been on a quest to try to move to the northwest where the winds are coming from to see if we could find a way into the elemental plane of air. We've been praying to our goddess, and she hasn't been answering our prayers, and we were hoping you, as a paladin of Bahamut, might know something about how we could get to the elemental plane of air. And you do know from your training that Bahamut does have a residence in the elemental plane of air.
Okay. Yeah, you take a left past the Jack in the Box, head up 2 miles, and it'll be good. So, yeah, I sort of, I look at him, and if I look at him, would you say that they're outfitted properly?
Yeah, I mean, clerics of their order tend to be travelers, so they wear a variety of different things. But they are otherwise clean. They're well dressed. The dwarf is sort of wearing this chain mail that depicts the sort of right things about his goddess, and the taller one wearing a robe with ornamental sort of markings that represent it as well. So they seem in order. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I look at him and right, whatever I can do to help you on your journey. From what I know and how I understand, the way to get there is, and then sort of explain as best as I can, sort of the what I know about it. Obviously, without drawing out too much, just needless detail, sort of without exploring necessarily why or how they need to get there, but just kind of giving a general idea to sort of let them know that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And you sort of know of the legends of there being sort of this portal in the northwest, the source of the winds across the sea. No one has successfully been far enough yet to see it or to pass through it, as far as you know, but you've heard of other priests sort of touring the countryside trying to figure out the way in. So they seem grateful for what you're listening to and sort of seem to be glancing over to the raspberry as well as they're listening to you, trying to sort of ease their way in to see if they could get an invitation to sit down.
I'm still
Felix,
holding.
did you make enough for these kind fellows, weary travelers, what have you?
And Felix is kind of flipping through the research book that we recovered from Shinebright. And he doesn't understand it, but he's trying to like teach himself how to read Elven, failing miserably. But he just like loves to just like touch the book, and he's just really like, you know, just like a kid again who is just feeling like there's a picture book in front of him, and he just loves the symbols. He just kind of wrapped up. Yes, there seems to be some remaining. And he doesn't really care about the conversation very much. There's probably about a sixth of the amount left over, so it's enough for maybe like a half portion for both. It's kind of like at the bottom, though, kind of, you know, leftovers. He doesn't really care. Yes, that's fine. Sure. Flipping a page.
So they sort of come in and sit down, the taller one pulling a flask of brandy out of his belt and sort of taking a swig and passing it around to you as well, if you want to take it and swig it and pass it around the circle too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I welcome. I gesture. Please, like, join us. If I may ask, why are you venturing there to this realm from this plane?
And the tall, curly-haired one says, "We're hoping to see if we could figure out why Akati has been sending these winds to us, and see if we could find out a way to stop her from doing it again."
Would there be anything from Bahamut that may have been strange to myself as well?
Not really.
Okay.
No. I mean, Bahamut has a dwelling in the elemental plane of air, as well as other places as well, so he's not necessarily closely bound with it, other than you may have been there to see him once.
I'm not sure how much. So, I kind of let you decide a little bit of this. I'm not sure how much I would know of another religion, I mean, obviously within the same plane and whatnot, and that realm, would I be able to check to see if that may ring any bells as to why that could happen?
This particular religion is kind of like spread out. It's not really centralized, but they are evangelical about their beliefs, so it's possible you could have heard of it. Go ahead and make a religion check. And what are you trying to determine again? Whether their story sounds accurate?
Yeah. Well, no, like if this may be because of something, it's like, can I maybe make a diagnosis of like, oh, this could be because this is happening.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
6 + 2, 8.
Okay, so you're aware that priests of Akati sort of go on these pilgrimages of an interest of theirs, that Akati's teachings teach their children to go out amongst the countryside and discover things and talk to people and pursue their interests. So a particular group or small group of Akati priests might decide that their goal will be to travel and go to the elemental plane of air. So that does sound like something that is plausible. As far as it being successful in stopping the wind, all you really know of Akati is that she's largely indifferent to human affairs, so people who pray to her don't usually hear anything back. So it's not unusual that they haven't heard anything back from praying to her. So they're kind of on just like a mission of, maybe this'll work, let's see if we could go to the elemental plane of air, find Akati, and ask her to stop the winds forever. Okay. Maybe it'll be awesome.
So this is where I pull a John Rambo, and I'm like, you don't want to go there. It's dangerous there. More like the journey there is dangerous. You two know what you're doing, right?
And the dwarf sort of scoffs a little bit, and you see him pull like this ornate dagger out of his belt and sheath it again and says, yeah, we know what we're doing. And he takes the swig of brandy that's come around to him and continues passing it over to his right.
So how much? So he's already taken 2 swigs of that brandy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of walk over to, because I'm still holding the berry thingy. I kind of casually make my way over to Anam, and I'm assuming is Anam and I a good distance away from them? Could they be able to hear us if I...
Yeah, you're all sort of sitting around the same fire. You could pull him away from the circle, but...
Okay, I'm gonna just kind of casually walk over to offer him some of the berries. I'm gonna just walk over and I'm gonna just look at him, lock eyes, and I just go... I'm gonna give him like a... I'm gonna give him a look, and then just offer it to him. So hopefully you pick up on that. I'm just like...
You're gonna give me a moose V? Is that it?
That's the Moose V. That's right.
Okay.
Bless.
All right, I'll bite.
So, and then I'm kind of giving you a look like, here, take some, so it doesn't look suspicious.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Some brandy or berries?
The berries.
Okay.
I want you.
All right.
And I smile and I walk back and I kind of go to them and I just lock eyes with the dwarf and I go, Dwarf, would you like some?
Yeah.
Really good.
So, of the berries that he's been eating?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he sort of like, thank you, reaches out and takes some and puts it in his mouth.
And I look at him and I go, tell me, that dagger against a god, what is that dagger, how's that dagger going to help you with your escapade? I'm just asking because it seems like you're going on a very grand journey and that dagger is just, I'm no expert. Now, I'm playing stupid, essentially. I'm playing kind of coy, but I'm no expert on that, but don't you think he might need something a little bit bigger?
And he reaches out and kind of punches you in the thigh a little bit. He's a dwarf, so he's shorter. He kind of hits you softly in the thigh. He's like, "Oh, you're a good lad. Thank you."
I just go, I'm just another citizen just trying to look out for a fellow lad, and I didn't want to see you hurt. That's all. And I kind of turn around, and I kind of, as I'm turning around, I'm kind of walking off back to like my seat. I sit down, and now I kind of look over at Deli, and I just go, and I kind of fold my
the
legs.
taller one sort of pats his friend on the head and says, "Oh, don't worry about us. We've been traveling for a while. We're fine in the countryside. Not anything out here that we couldn't handle."
Hands up, kind of stretching back, and I want to tuck my shank into my sleeve.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do it just casually, and I'm just gonna sit back and relax,
All right.
just chilling.
Do I see this?
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand, Shervonda.
Okay, sleight of hand. Let me just pull up my sheet real quick. Sleight of hand. I did put. 4, baby. This is gonna be good. Please work. 18 and 4.
So he slips it in pretty deftly. Were you looking straight at him while he was doing it?
I don't want to say yes because, like, out of character, I want to see this. I want to say yes in the sense that
Okay.
I think, like, he already called me over, right? To, I don't know, give me berries and walk off.
Yeah. I will say this then. You notice him make a move. You don't necessarily see precisely what he did.
Okay.
Perfect
Hold on.
moment. Well, I know that you are obviously making eye contact with me. I just wink. That's it.
All right, the wink. Okay. I was gonna say if I just see him do something, I'd be like, I'm weary about it, but I'll just keep my head down. Now the wink has got me. Wait a minute. Time out, coach. But yeah, I'm gonna scooch over and just be like, what do you think you're doing?
And I just kind of straighten up and I go, can never be too careful, you. And I just kind of resume my I'm just fidgeting with my fingers. There's nothing up my sleeve, and I'm just kind of chilling. I'm a cucumber, and I just kind of pat my friend Anam, and I just go, "It's all right. Just go about your business."
Just go about your business. I love that.
Well, the dwarf says as he sets down the rag with sort of berry juice on it, and the taller cleric sort of takes a final swig of his brandy and puts it away. And the dwarf says, "Well, lads, it was nice having a chance to chat with you. We're going to have to be on our way. Paladin, if you make your way toward the elemental plane of air and see us, let it known we would be grateful for your help in trying to talk to Akati. I think she would listen to you and us and perhaps save us from these winds."
I respond cordially and quickly. If I find myself near there, I will be there for you.
And they stand up and collect all their belongings and start to make their way away.
And do I have a chance to just kind of call out to them?
Sure, yeah.
Lads, I didn't really catch your name. Well, we were delighted to have you for only what seems to be like a few seconds, but it was an absolute delight. And I kind of get up and very casually I go for a handshake, and I do realize the dwarf in dwarven culture, if I'm correct, they like to hug. Am I allowed to hug him and try and lift that dagger from him?
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh god.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check on it.
He's a klepto.
Where's all like, oh man.
So sorry. What was the? What would you like
A
me to
sleight
do?
of hand again.
Oh baby.
It's on the floor. It's a 1. Yeah, I think you just dropped the dice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this cleric is rather perceptive at this moment, I think.
Oh no. Why does everybody we talk to hate us?
No, that's not
One second. One second. Just, I mean, like.
Wow, this rogue is so good. He's vanished and can't find it himself. He's hidden it from himself.
I have to side with these guys. You know this, right?
life, bro. All right, let's try that again. Thank goodness. And 19 with +4.
Okay. That's close. So, as you start to lift the dagger out, you feel a heavy dwarven hand sort of clamp down on the top of your hand and sort of push it back down into the sheath again. And he sort of lifts you away and pushes you away a little bit. And he's like, "What do you think you're doing?" And the
I
taller
said-
one sort of looks down and looks over at the paladin and says, "You really should keep a better eye on the type of people you're consorting with."
And I said, "Excuse me, but that almost fell out of your pocket." And I was simply trying to secure it before it fell on the floor. It looks very expensive.
And you see the dwarf kind of give a as he turns around, and his friend kind of watches him backing up as well, and sort of backs away, following him, and then continues to follow him as well.
It was a good try, Rogue. It was a good try.
I'm sure they believed me.
Felix
Yeah.
completely oblivious to the situation, as he is a student in a library right now with a large book falling or something like that. The kind of the noise that just occurred of this commotion just kind of stands to attention.
What happened? Why are they so upset? Did they not like my cooking?
That's exactly it.
Ignoring that, I jump up and I grab Shervonda by the collar.
What? Okay, caller, yes. Hi.
What are you doing?
Do you actually buy that story of what there's kind of going on about? You're gonna take a little dinky baby dagger to fight off whatever? What do you think? I didn't believe that for a second, and they were awfully shady. And on top of that, how the heck did he manage to feel? He had a couple swigs of that brandy. I smelt it from even before. I knew I smelled something sketchy before he came over.
There
It
are
was
people
that.
in the world, lots of them, who are more skilled than you. You need to watch it.
Sometimes a priest is just a priest. Sometimes brandy is just brandy. I mean,
So priests drink brandy now. Since when?
Out of character, since always. In character, since always.
if I'm gonna be walking all day to go talk to the god of wind, I would want a drink, wouldn't you?
I kind of give him a look. Communion to go. Communion to go. And it's usually wine, not brandy. I at least know.
Go.
I'm just kind of like frazzled by the whole thing. And I kind of take it. I kind of chill out and I go, Paladin, I trust you, but that was weird.
I don't trust you.
I gave you berries. I didn't slip you anything horrible. It was just berries.
Now I feel like you slept me something horrible.
And I just kind of went like, Rogue, damn it. I get a little tongue-tied in these situations because you're yelling at me, you're holding me by my collar, which you still haven't let me go yet. Secondly, that ornate dagger, what is that dagger? Did you recognize it?
Sometimes a dagger is just a dagger.
I
Sometimes
read
a dagger.
that it's not just a dagger. And if somebody holds that, you probably don't mess with them.
Maybe I am just tired. Because A, I would have had that dagger, and B, maybe I'm worried too much. It's been a long day. We've killed that many people and things. Perhaps we should rest.
I
I
say,
will try.
yeah, rest, and I kind of shove him, not like shove him away, and I actually walk off.
And Felix interjects, kind of like frustratedly, so he's kind of mumbling in Gnomish. So he's not sure if anyone can really understand, but he doesn't really care because it's just kind of impulsive. He's usually pretty together, but
Like
he's
my
been
gr-
trying to read this book. He's trying to understand Elven. This commotion, it seems unnecessary. It's been a pretty tense night. He was hoping people would enjoy the cooking a little bit more, but they just find a way to, argue. So he says in Gnomish, my friends are so high-strung, so tense. I'm going to sleep. And he then says in Common, it's getting late. I suppose I should get some rest. I hope you enjoyed the meal, and I wish you all a good evening. And he kind of scampers, not hurriedly, but just kind of lackadaisically, kind of frustratedly, these people, Ugh. Why do they like this?
Why are people like this? Philosophers have been trying to answer that question a long time.
He rolls out his bedroll and just tries to make a pillow with his palms opposite each other, trying to rest his eyes.
I kind of lean up against a tree branch, or a tree, and I'm still... You know what? I kind of don't really sleep, really. I will pretend to sleep, but I'm going to add some more stuff to the fire. Still have my blade in my sleeve. I kind of fold my arms, and I kind of lay back on the tree, and I kind of rest. But I'm awake. I'm kind of doing the sentry duty.
Okay.
Should we keep watch? That we're next to a road. I don't. Would that be necessary?
It's up to you.
Communion to go, and that's all I say.
You see around at some of the other camps, there are people either asleep or milling about. No one seems particularly high alert.
Okay, well then I guess I won't care. Just pull out my bedroll and try to forget everything that's happened.
Can I rest in are those two priests gone? They're, from sight?
Yeah, they walk down the road. You don't see them anymore.
Can I follow them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're keeping it sort of like a distance behind them, trying to keep them.
Oh,
in
hell
eyesight?
yeah. No, not even. I'm not even. I'm going to be very careful this time.
Okay. So go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay.
And the rest of you have, I assume, gone to sleep. And
Oh,
Felix is asleep. He falls asleep really quickly.
okay.
I'm mad walking.
Mad
Keep
walking.
walking.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to make sure that the way I'm going to kind of do it is if I kind of follow them, but I can't really hear them for a while, if it's too far out, I won't bother, but 19. plus
So
plus
you
the 4.
you stay in the shadows behind them, and it's nighttime, so it's relatively easy to do it. You stay sort of off the path and in the cover of the trees, stepping silently as you go, so you don't make any noises. And you see them walk down the ways a road a little bit, probably about 500 yards or so, and you see them talking, but you're not quite close enough to see what they're saying. They just seem to be talking back and forth. And they stop and start setting up a camp of their own. Will you watch them while they continue doing that?
Yes, but I will. Is there a vantage point where I can get an earshot? Can I?
Yeah, you can get closer.
Okay, but
Go ahead
close
and roll
enough where
another stealth check.
20, natural
Okay.
20.
So you sneak up a little bit closer to them, and now within earshot, you hear them just sort of talking about general life, what they're planning to eat. They seem to be friends who have known each other for a long time. They share stories with one another that you don't really understand. It seems like it's sort of inside jokes with them. And they are cleaning up their clothing, and they have a moment where they both are stopping to pray in silence, and then they go to bed.
Is the dagger still attached to him?
He is wearing the dagger while he's sleeping, yes.
I kind of mutter to myself,
And then there was 3.
Shervonda, you are way too high strung for this. And I kind of just slip back and I go back to the camp.
Okay.
Wow, what a ride.
Okay, so you make it on back. Deli, while you're angry walking, what happens at the end of that? Do you eventually come back and sleep with the rest of them?
I eventually come back. What concerns me...
And when you come back, you don't see Sharvanda here.
Yeah, what concerns me is that.
Yeah.
Is his stuff still here?
You didn't bring your stuff with you, did you, Sharvanda?
I'm assuming because I had at no point where I had taken it off, so it's.
Well, I mean, not your armor or anything, but are you bringing your, pack containing everything?
Oh, I took my pack with me. Yeah.
Okay, so all of his stuff is gone.
All right. I wake up Anam, and I'm like, where did he go?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's the rogue.
Yeah.
Wow. Kind of. It must be really dark.
Yeah, it's probably about 1, 2 in the morning at this point.
Kind of rubbing the sleep out of my eyes, looking around, to see if I could, I don't know, see anything, hear anything about maybe where he's gone, and just kind of, still like, I don't know, Deli. I thought, I mean, he's very secretive, right? Something must have happened to this guy to make him this, high-strung, paranoid in these situations. But I don't know. What do you think we do?
You should probably get some rest. I'm gonna stay up and wait for him.
Okay. Well, if you need me, then, wake me up. In case he turns into a demon, in case he comes back with the priests ready to kill us, anything, just, yeah.
So what is are we surrounded by like trees, or is it pretty open?
You're off on the embankment of the road, so there's this well-traveled road, and then off to the side where there's sort of twigs and stuff gathered up, which is where you are, and then off and to a little bit further is the forest as it gets denser. So there's forest just right off the road.
Okay, I want to go to one of the trees and climb up it and sort of have like a vantage point over where the other two are sleeping, and just kind of sit in the tree and wait.
Okay. You're wearing your armor still, right? So it's a little bit heavy, but you're able to do it. You're able to climb your way up the tree. And
Yeah,
you sort of-
like I'd probably leave my pack on the ground or something like that. Yeah.
Sure. You get yourself up in the tree to get a good vantage point. And, all right, Sharvanda, so as you're coming in, are you trying to sneak your way back to the camp, or are you just walking down the road?
I'm walking down the road.
Okay. So
And-
you see...
and very briskly, too. Like, just...
Yeah, you see in the distance, Deli, you see this sort of... a figure that matches the silhouette of Sharvanda's, and he comes a little bit closer to you, see that it is him coming on back.
Okay.
Do you want to announce your presence or stay hidden
I'm
up in the
gonna
tree?
announce my presence by taking one of my javelins and throwing it near him, like in front of him.
Okay.
No, so I throw it in front, lands in front of you. I would assuming you see it.
Okay.
You
And
see
I
this,
kind
Sharvanda, you see this javelin sort of come down from atop the trees from the side of the road, and it just sticks into the ground right in front of you, just at a slight angle, just right into the ground.
I pull out my swords and I run towards a nom. Everyone, and we're like, boy, we're under attack. And I wake him up, and I kind of like run over, and I wake the entire everyone up. I'm like, guys, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I kind of like rile everyone up, and I have my swords ready to go. And I'm like, show yourself. And I kind of ready up my swords and everything.
And then I walk up, and I jump off the tree and walk up towards him.
And I kind of scowl. I'm like, you're trying to, I'm already high strung, and now you're trying to attack me?
Where were you?
I went to pee.
Brian, how long was he?
It's been about 2-3 hours.
For 3 hours?
To be honest, I got lost.
For 3 hours?
3 hours is a long time, but
Agreed.
I got lost.
Okay. Can I somehow persuade him to tell the truth?
Not with die rolls, but you could try to persuade him to tell the truth.
Can I do like some type of insight to see if I can tell if he's lying? Even though I pretty much know he's lying.
Well, I mean, his lie is that he was peeing for 3 hours and got lost.
No, I went to pee and I got lost.
Right. If you think there's a possibility that you might believe that, you could roll for it. Otherwise, I would say you could just disbelieve it.
I'd believe that. Well, hold on. Wisdom's low. I might believe that. Yeah, I guess I'll roll for that. I might believe that.
Okay. And go ahead and roll deception, Sharvanda.
That is a 16.
I rolled a 14. Alright. So I go, okay, then I'm like... I'm going to sleep. If I see
And I'm
anything
just like-
from you, I'm leaving. And you will have no help for anything, because I will not be part of this. Ever. And if I have to, I will take you in myself. Do you hear me?
And I kind of I sheathe my swords and I go, I just wanted to pee. I just kind of I like maintain my innocence 100%. And I go, we got a long day tomorrow. I'm going to bed. And for the record, I'm sorry for wanting to steal the dagger. I felt that it had some use. And I just kind of look at everyone. And I kind of go to a lonely tree and I just sleep on the other side of it.
And
Well, I'm not going back to sleep because of that rogue running into the camp, screaming we're under attack, and me getting up and ready to fight. There's no way I'm going back to sleep. So I'm a little cross with the rogue, but I don't know. So, what a comedy of events.
With Sharvana kind of waking everyone up at 3 in the morning or so. Felix is still, he sleeps really well, falls asleep really fast, doesn't have a lot of worries on his mind. But he as he sees what was happening as Sharvana woke everyone up, he is awoken, but it's like one bloodshot eye looking around, and he's just seeing basically Wile E. Coyote chasing the Roadrunner around, and he kind of just oh, this is not unexpected behavior, and just kind of went back to bed. So you woke him up, but he fell back asleep really fast and kind of dismissed this situation. He felt like it was a false alarm.
Which it was, very much so.
All right.
So I guess the night proceeded.
Yeah, so you all wake up. Various states of restedness. And yeah, everything seems fine. Nothing seems to have been stolen. The sun is just starting to rise. The winds are starting to feel like they're picking up a little bit. It was a relatively quiet night in terms of wind, but it is picking up now.
As I wake up, I'm like, I sort of I do my morning prayers, and I'm meditating, and I say, oh, as I feel the wind, oh, that is strange. What could that be?
It could be the smell of my cooking. And lo and behold, Felix is trying to prepare breakfast for everybody. He's got mate tea going. He's cooking some pygmy pigeon eggs. He's got spotted swine brood bacon going, leftover pastry dough, and of course, chopped melon thorn with the thorns removed, of course. Good morning, everyone. Breakfast is ready. I see, I can feel that you smelt it. Didn't you, Deli?
Yeah. And I
Felix
sort of,
doesn't notice the winds at all. Not
yeah,
really.
I sort of just keep my thoughts to myself, and I'm still closed off and thinking and pondering while he's talking. I go, yeah. And I just kind of go back to thinking.
Lovely. Oh, the food should be ready soon.
I kind of wipe my eyes, and I kind of shake myself awake. I kind of get up, I turn, and I avoid a sharp stare from the Dragonborn, and I'm just like, well, good morning. I hope everyone slept well. I think I did.
By the way, I'm paying no attention to anybody right now. I'm so lost in thought. So I didn't snarl at you yet. Not yet.
So I'm just in my mind. I feel like in my point of view, you could look up at any time. So I'm just like avoiding any sort of contact, right? And I just kind of mosey on over to Felix and
do one of these.
yeah, exactly. and your javelin is still like very much still on the ground, and I kind of look at that and I'm like thinking to myself, that would make a fantastic cooking stick. Just passing thought, I like shake it off and I plop down next to Felix and I go, so Felix, what you got there, buddy? It looks like you have quite the smorgasbord.
Good morning, Sharvanda. Yes, I had a lovely sleep, and I was so excited to make some food for everyone. I hope you enjoy it. Here, would you like a little bit of each, or what would you like? What can I get for you?
I'm kind of like looking up at
And
the.
if I could interrupt, Felix, because you went out and did this herb gathering and put together this feast, go ahead and make a survival check to see how good and delicious the stuff that you found it actually
oh
is.
boy.
Totally.
Oh boy, I'm ready. I'm so ready.
It's gonna be so potato. Oh my god. Okay, so my survival is 6, and I will roll 18 plus 6.
So you're particularly good at this. You've spent a lot of time in the forest finding the good edible herbs, and it's got an aroma. It's very complex. It's full of these leaves that you've put in and then taken out at just the right time to add the correct balance of flavors. It's got mushrooms. It looks quite appetizing. It's something that you don't mind waking up to.
Nice.
Ah, the crisp morning air, the birds are out, the insects aren't biting except for those mosquitoes. What can I get for you?
And I said, I'm kind of like, what's still fresh in my mind is the fact that I completely blew my trust. I worked so bloody hard to even have a little bit with the Dragonborn. So I'm just like, I just kind of sat there going, I'll have some of that bacon, and I'll have some of those wonderful eggs, and I kind of eyeball it. I'm like, you wouldn't happen to have anything that the Dragonborn would like to eat, like worms or anything that that normal humans don't eat? I kind of want to kind of make amends. You had a very good sleep last night, but trust me, it was very interesting last night. I'm glad you slept through it. And I kind of like look at you. Anything for the Dragonborn?
This food is for everybody. Nothing in particular for any particular individual here. Just hoping that we can all share a meal right now.
Okay, can I have a plate for? So I kind of get a relatively like a rock, so it's like a serving rock, if I may. And
Of course.
can I have some for Mr. or Mrs. Not so impressed pants over there?
Of course. And he's kind of rushing himself because there's like multiple things kind of cooking right now, and he feels like he didn't like burn anything, but he's kind of like being meticulous, maybe a little bit over meticulous. He kind of gets this way, a little wrapped up in details, not always seeing the big picture of things, and kind of like slops it on there, but tries to make up the little bit sloppy presentation with like a little mark of like what he feels is like a culinary, like, you know, like a little bit of like liquid or fluid on the side. Ah, here you are. Perfect.
Thank you. And I kind of get up and I kind of make my way over to the Dragonborn very, very carefully, making sure I'm like in view, like, and I'm kind of walking towards Deli, and I go, Dragonborn. And I just kind of, I look, and I'm like, the gnome. I guess I could say I'm close enough to say, the gnome has made us breakfast and was wondering if you'd like some.
And I very quickly, and really paying no mind to who it is, just kind of grab it and start eating it. Well, I eat it as fast as possible, and I'm just like, I'm so concentrated on something.
And I'm like, I kind of look, I kind of go, I guess he liked it today. I guess she liked it then. And I walk off, and I go, it's back to Felix, and I go, Felix, the Dragonborn sends her regards. Good job.
Stab. Sorry, no.
Having some lady problems, are you, rogue?
And I kind of look over and I go, you know, yes. And it's the first time, and it's very, very, very disconcerting. Perhaps I'm losing my touch. Just kidding. That was a joke.
I appreciate your honesty. I'm still very much in bed. Anam spent a lot of his life still and quiet, which inadvertently makes him pretty good at stealth. He hasn't slept at all. There was a wolf howl around sunrise, and Sarvanda turns out to be quite the avid snorer, much to my dismay. So, you know, didn't really get a whole lot of sleep, but I like shuffle over and sit down. I'm like, yeah, a man who spends 3 hours peeing and getting lost at night would have lady problems, I'd imagine.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, I did.
And I'd be like, rogues never had a great sense of direction, only in combat and, well, no secret but stealing things, but in this case, not even that today or yesterday. And I'm kind of playing off the fact that I didn't even get the dagger. I kind of messed that up. So I'm taking my victories while I can, and I'm kind of eating and enjoying the breakfast. And let me tell you, and I make a really loud crunch with the bacon. Oh. And I look at Felix. Ooh.
Is that for all of us?
I'm like, things are looking up, and you better hurry. I might go in for seconds.
I might as well not carry rations with this dwarf around. No, the dwarf is back. The dwarf is long gone.
I heard that. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it won't be the last time. I'll take the food anyway.
So Felix is noticing we're starting to run out of food as everyone's taking their portion. He decides to take his as well and gives some to Anam, of course. All the portions are equal.
Awesome.
No favorites yet.
I was going back and forth on whether the night was restful enough for you all to gain a full long rest, but given how delicious Felix's meal wound up being, I'll say that you did. What you lost in sleep, you made up for in nutrients in the morning. And
Brilliant.
flavor.
So, okay, so I'm at 7 hit points. What would that boost me up to?
So you'll recover back to full health.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
You didn't get
And
infected. Your chest
through
wound
the
was
night,
infected.
the accomplishments that you had the day before, meeting each other, confronting a brutish half-orc, slaying him and his guard dogs, in more than one sense of the term, finding Note, killing him, encountering Shinebright, killing him effectively. The experiences of the day have so enriched you that you feel yourself rising up in power to become level 2. So your level 2 abilities are now available to each of you.
Da, 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 da.
Feels good.
So whatever that means for you, Deli, I'm assuming during your prayers, maybe you heard something. Felix, you might be hearing something from your demons, or demon. Anam and Charvanda, you've got your own training. Perhaps you have your own methods of improving. Whatever it is, over the night and into the morning, you've been practicing. And you feel those abilities awaken in you. Congratulations!
During my
Yay,
morning
we did it.
prayer, I
Feels
sort of-
good.
I start to understand some of my older teachings.
Well, that was
Thank
a wonderful evening. I think we
Yeah.
are at about the time to start wrapping it up. But I had a blast. I hope
keep
you guys
going.
did it as well. Congratulations on fully completing successfully your first quest together, completing level 1, rising to level 2. Very well done.
Thank you.
I
Yeah, you
can't
did really
believe,
well.
man. I don't know.
KZ?
I don't know what I liked more: the shock of Shine Bright disintegrating, or like just the way Moose that you were talking to Dan, trying to convince Deli to trust you. Just Dan's face was so good, and then of course the following proceedings of kind of one step forward, 2 steps back.
It was
That was
so
hilarious.
bad. I just sat there and I went, how? How? And all I wanted to do was get away with the dagger, but man, I thought to myself, okay, he's drinking. This is gonna be fine. And apparently, no quarter. Nothing.
I mean, he's
And-
a dwarf, so a couple of
So he
sips
can
of
drink.
brandy. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
he- no,
also... Unfortunately, both of your thieving attempts so far have been against a cleric and a druid, both of which are wisdom spellcasters, and so tend to have very high wisdom and therefore very high perception. So they're particularly hard targets to thieve from, although you were really close.
And you know what? It was very interesting to have that like rejection. The good part was to be able to kind of sneak up and just kind of get a feel for that. And what Danotage very brilliantly did was set it up to just out me completely. Like, he's up in a tree. I'm like thinking to myself, all right, I'm coming back to the camp, and most likely there's going to be something very unfavorable waiting for me. So I'm going to go about it like very innocently, like, right? No sneaking, no crazy business. I'm just going to walk in and then play victim. Right? So homie throws an attack at me. I'm like, oh, guys, wake up. Look, we're under attack. And it turns out it's just him. So I was kind of like having everyone trying to play my side and like go, what are you doing, you crazy paladin? But it didn't really play out the way I wanted it to. But
It is weird that they didn't take the rogue's side of honesty over the paladin's.
I know.
Important Nom got no rest that night, and he didn't even do anything wrong. He got shafted.
I was disappointed. Come on, I have a face that everyone can trust, obviously.
Yep.
No, but it was really good that everyone kind of picked up and just kind of went, I don't know. But so I think all in all, honestly, I wish we could keep going. It was just, this is going way too good.
Yeah, that was a really fun session. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
it's great.
It is always
really
sad to
well
call it a
done.
night, but we will be able to pick up next time when we have session 4. The players have a lot of different ways to go. The world is beginning to open up. The sandbox is filling with sand and other metaphors. Well done, everybody. I'm looking forward to next time. Hope you all are here for next time as well. Thanks so much for being here again. I am Fruitbats. I'm joined by KZ Fru, Simcopter1, Animatedbreak, and Danotage. You could follow them on their respective channels. You could see their names on the overlay. There's plenty of ways to find them. They're great people. They do even more things than just play Dungeons & Dragons, so you definitely want to give them a chance. Check them out if you don't know them already. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. Hope you have a very pleasant night.
We're
Thank you,
delighted.
players,
Yeah,
as well.
Thank you.
Great job DMing, by the way. Another
Yeah,
fantastic session.
Oh, my
Fantastic.
pleasure. Thank you so
Loved
much.
Hi, everybody.
Good night,
Y'all take
everybody.
care.
Bye.
Good
See ya.
night. Good night.